FBT, Carolina Beach. Ben Hawkins here with Cross Country. Hey everyone, Ben Hawkins here with Cross Country Mortgage. Rates are still at historic lows, and there has never been a better time to purchase your dream home or refinance your existing. With over 300 loan products, including conventional, FHA, VA, USDA, renovation, and jumbo, we are certain we have the right loan product for you and your family. With great rates to keep your payment within your budget, low closing costs, and the best service in the industry, give us a call today to help you get the keys to your next home. With top-flight service, you will know you're in good hands with the Lynn with Ben team every step of the way. Communication is key, and we are committed to making your home buying experience as smooth as possible. And don't forget, I also host the Lynn with Ben show, which airs live every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 10 on 106.7 FM, the Big Talker Radio. Call me today to be pre-qualified to make the offer on your next dream home. 910-352-3373 or visit my website at lendwithben.com.
Waiting for the sun to set before going out for a walk each day.
Right now it's 40 degrees difference, and it's just so nice to get out when you walk out in the evening. You feel coolness on your face. It's just great to get out of the heat.
He spoke with ABC 7 in Los Angeles. There's also concern about the added strain on the power grid in California as well as Texas. Louisiana Governor John Bel Edwards declaring a state of emergency as a storm builds strength out in the Gulf of Mexico.
The expectation is this weather event will be focused on rain, not so much on the wind, although a 35 to 40 mile an hour wind, when you have saturated ground, can easily uproot trees and so forth. So that hazard is still there.
The audio from Louisiana Public Broadcasting. People along the Alabama coast also being urged to keep an eye on the storm. The weather expected to start deteriorating late today and on into the weekend. Texas Governor Greg Abbott signing 7 gun-related bills, including one that allows people to carry handguns without a permit.
People are saying from the federal level to the local level that Second Amendment rights are under assault, that government officials are saying, heck yes, government is coming to take your guns. Texas will not let that happen.
Texas, the 21st state to pass a constitutional carry law. 1 person dead, a dozen others injured. Series of drive-by shootings over a 90-minute span yesterday in several cities northwest of Phoenix. The suspect is in custody. Wall Street now features down 33 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hi folks, Dennis Prager here. Can thieves really steal your home's title? Take it from this thief who stole over 150 homes and was sentenced to 25 years in prison. That is why you need Home Title Lock.
Nobody thinks that I can take their house and borrow against the house. Oh, no, I have title insurance for that. No, it's in my name, or he would have to get some special document. They would call me. You know, nobody's calling you. After I've stolen the title, borrowed against it, or sold the property, or done whatever I've done with it, it's 60 to 90 days to even figure out that they're the victim of this crime. You know, by that point, you start getting foreclosure notices, and you realize you've got 4 mortgages on your house. Not only that, you don't even own your home anymore. It's not even in your name.
Heard enough? Go to HometitleLock.com and register your address to see if you're already a victim and enter radio for 30 free days of protection. That's promo code RADIO at HometitleLock.com.
The UN says a number of people displaced by war and persecution rose sharply last year. More than 82 million people now classified as refugees. The BBC's Rayhan Kansara is in Nairobi.
Lots of countries, not just in Africa, but around the world, have closed their borders and restricted the movement of people, which has left a lot of people who are seeking asylum or are refugees in the lurch, stranded, who need safety. There's been an increased reliance on smugglers. A lot of people are spending all their savings trying to get into another country via different routes, but it's also very dangerous.
Hong Kong's pro-democracy newspaper Apple Daily increasing its print run to more than 500,000 copies, a 5-fold increase. Residents are lining up today to buy the newspaper. It is meant as a show of support for beleaguered press freedom in Hong Kong. This a day after police arrested 5 of the paper's top editors and executives. News and analysis, townhall.com. The North American International Auto Show returns to Detroit next year.
But with smaller indoor displays and more emphasis on experiencing vehicles and technology outside. The show was canceled last year due to the pandemic, and it will be replaced this year by an outdoor event at a racetrack. Executive Director Rod Alberts says there will be an event in the city's downtown next year, but he told the Automotive Press Association of Detroit the show can't keep doing what it did in the past with elaborate and costly multi-story displays from automakers. Rhonda Rockstra reporting.
Diplomats say the UN General Assembly is expected to approve a resolution calling on Myanmar's military junta to restore the country's democratic government and calling on all countries to prevent the flow of arms into Myanmar. The world body expected to take up that resolution later today. Wall Street, NASDAQ futures up 20 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
The champ is here! The champ is here! The champ is here! The champ is here!
Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is going to hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore. When the world seems to shine like you've had too much wine, that's amore.
Good morning, everyone. This is the day that you've all been waiting for. The day when Len with Ben takes over Mornings with Joe Catenacci. Joe needed a ratings boost, and he called in the big gun on Friday to close the week out. So, Joe, you're welcome. The clock is ticking, and I expect to get paid well for this. That's all I can say. No, we are so excited to be with you guys this morning. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Ben Hawkins. I've been a friend of the show and a friend of this station now for over 3 years. I have a show that airs every Saturday morning from 9 to 10 a.m. called The Len with Ben Show. It airs live on 106.7 FM, The Big Talker. And we talk all things mortgage and real estate. So, it's just an hour-long show, just an hour long. But it's one of the most exciting hours in radio that you'll ever hear anywhere, period. But, here we go. We are now taking over Mornings with Joe Catenacci, and I'm very excited to do that. I love it. Anything I can do to oust Joe's radio time, like where I get more than him in any situation, I'm happy about it. I'm happy. We're coming for you, Joe. No, we love Joe. Joe knows that. You're going to hear me poke fun at him for the next 3 hours here and there. So those of you that don't know Joe and I's relationship, it's nothing personal. It's strictly business, Joe. Strictly business. No, Joe's my buddy, man, but I like messing with him. It's fun. I mean, he razzes me my entire show. I'll get text messages that are just out off the wall, repeated text messages. I think I'm going to have to get a restraining order against Joe texting me during my show. It's distracting. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Well, a lot of times, on my show, most weekends, we talk about mortgage and real estate. That's what we do. Joe's show is more of a political commentary, kind of what's going on in our community, what's happening, this, that, and the other. A little bit of everything, I guess, right? I mean, he's got guests on from all walks of life, all shapes and sizes, all colors. And that's the way we like it. We like to be a diverse group over here. We like finding out what's going on. For me, it's a tightrope to walk because I come in here and I want to absolutely go on and on about politics. I do. I want to talk about what's happening. I want to talk about what's going on out there in our country and also in the world, on a world stage. But I also have to be careful, right? Because I do loans. I do mortgage loans. I do loans for Democrats, Republicans, everybody, independents, you name it. So I have to be very careful who I alienate in essence when I speak to that. But at the same time, I mean, guys, I feel alienated as it is. Does anybody else out there feel like that you're just like you wake up every day and you wonder what new attack is going to be coming my way by the way of the national media? It's an attack on all of us, the things that are happening. And, you know, how long can we sit back and take it? Well, how long will I continue to put, feeding my son, feeding my family in front of me getting on air to voice my political concerns? It is a shame that we are living in a time in this country where we have to be worried about the repercussions for us talking about freedom, flying the American flag proudly, taking care of our country, taking care of our citizens, taking care of people at home. It's a shame that we're getting ostracized for common sense, basic fundamentals of being an American. And I don't like that. And I don't like that. And honestly, it makes me want to push back. See, I've always been that way. I like pushing back on things. When I feel like that I'm getting cornered, man, I'm going to push back hard and I'm going to fight hard. And I feel like we're all getting pushed in a corner right now. I really do. You know, I looked at I've been watching from a distance for the last 5 months what's gone on since January, when January 6th, when the election was finalized and certified. And I've been watching what's going on. And I've been noticing such a big difference, such a stark difference. And maybe you have too, in the way that news organizations, when we say news, the fake news, which is predominant news these days. That's why I get scared. I can't trust what I'm reading and what I'm hearing in a lot of cases. But we get all this news, this reporting on the latest president that's been in office now for 5 months, President Joe Biden. We get news on him, and it's these questions they're throwing his way. The way that it's just unbelievable. And then when they ask him a semi-difficult question, he goes ballistic. If I recall correctly, number 45, President 45, Donald Trump, got grilled every single day. And yes, he did talk tough back to them, but they were completely fabricating things and spinning them to a sense of just craziness. But yet his demeanor was in question. When Joe Biden's is, you know, he just got frustrated with a bad question. Well, no, he got asked a simple question about policy and what's going on with the relationship with Russia and Putin over there at this big G7 summit. But yet we can't get answers. How come this transparency that we were supposed to have with this administration, I haven't seen it? How come we can't get questions answered to simple things? Simple questions. You know, it's, we got to go. They usher him out. He's got handlers. And the thing is, like, I honestly kind of felt bad for Joe Biden when he was running for president, in the sense that I thought whoever put him up for this, they ought to be ashamed of themselves, because he's not able. Doesn't seem like he's able to function for 4 years as the leader of the free world. And of course, I know people misspeak, and I know there's situations, and I don't want to make fun of an older person like this, but this is crazy, guys. What are we doing? Who's really running things? That's what I want to know. And that's kind of my political stance on this thing. I mean, if Joe Biden had great ideas that were great policy for our country, I don't care. Look, I will tell you on Joe's show right now, I know this is a conservative show, I would vote Democrat if Democrats had better policy. I don't care. I don't care about Republican. I don't care about Democrat. I never have. I don't like all that man-made garbage. What I do, though, is pick a side as far as morals and values are concerned, and in the direction that we would like to see our country head to, or head in. That's who I vote for, and I just don't get it. I do not get it. We give them access to a pipeline that Trump had shut down, Russia, that is, build them up, and we shut down our own pipelines and hurt our own people at work, costing 11,000 jobs, and no telling how much in energy costs that's going to end up costing us over the long haul. It just doesn't make sense. Why is it okay for them but not for us? I don't understand that. Why? What are we doing? And why are we doing it? I mean, you can say conspiracy theorist all you want to. Folks, it's common sense to open your eyes and take a good look at what's going on around you. And I don't think there's any conspiracy going on here. I just think it's downright bull. I mean, it's right in front of our face. It's not a conspiracy. I mean, facts are facts. If somebody's doing something and we call them on it or say, hey, this could happen as a result of this behavior, That's not conspiracy. That's called thinking out loud. That's called analyzing the situation, analyzing the data, and then making an informed decision. And I don't need the national news media or any news media making my mind up for me. Well, all I ask is that things are reported fairly and just tell the truth. I don't care what your opinion is. If I'm listening to the news, I don't expect to hear. Okay, let me back up. I don't watch Tucker Carlson. I don't watch Sean Hannity. I don't watch any of the other ones because I'm there to get necessarily like the news. Like, this is the daily report. This is what happened. There is no opinion thrown in here. It just is what happened. The way that things were reported, I believe, at one time in this country. Now we have news agencies and news outlets that they talk about, oh, this is the news, but they're spinning it from the host or the production people's, whoever's writing this crap. They're spinning it from their point of view. So therefore the news is tainted and it's not true anymore. I'm sorry. It's just the way it is. I don't know what to believe anymore. I don't. I mean, who can you trust? It is absolutely crazy. So I choose pretty much not to trust any of them. But I watch and I listen. And I turn on the other outlets too. I turn on CNN to get a good laugh sometimes. MSNBC is almost too much to bear. I mean, it's just absolutely out of control. And Fox is, I mean, some of their programming is awful too. It is. But I do enjoy listening to some of the commentary, just to kind of hear what's going on, different opinions. That's all fine and dandy. But when it comes to reporting the news, I don't want your opinion. If you're a journalist or a newscaster out there, I don't want your opinion. I want to hear what the facts are. What is the news? What's the real stuff going on? There's too much fakeness going on out there in the world. Too much fake news going on, and it still is. And I know that term seems overplayed the last 5 years. Fake news, but man, what else is it? What else is it? I'm tired of being called a conspiracy theorist. I'm tired of being called a racist and everything else. Man, I love everybody. I don't care what color you are. You're a human being. You live on Earth. You're a human. I mean, let me say something out there to everybody real quick. When it comes to the race stuff, I have African-American friends. I have white American friends. I have Hispanic, Mexican-American friends, whatever you want to call it. But we're all human beings. Like, we're all Americans. We are all Americans. We live in the same country. We all walk under the breath of freedom every day, where that flag flies high. We all need to come together for the common good of this country. It isn't about us. It isn't about one segment of people. It's about lifting all of us up to be able to accomplish our goals as Americans and live the dream. And I understand that there are inequalities out there. I mean, I get it, man. There's some people out there are vile people. Black, white, red, whatever. Everybody. I mean, they're all sides. There are some very vile people out there that make everyone else look bad. But I don't choose to lump everyone into a group together. Just because a white person might be racist or a black person might be racist doesn't mean the whole crew is. That's not the way it works. Everybody has their own individual choice, their own individual free will to come up with free thoughts. And sometimes those thoughts are not nice. They are not. But don't lump everyone into the same thing, into the same category. I don't like that. I think that's absolutely absurd and it's unfair. It's very, very unfair. And I'm not going to tolerate it. I am not going to tolerate it. I'm not going to accept that kind of stuff from people. If you're going to make a bold statement like that about me, which people don't because they know I'm not that way. If somebody did, though, like it's on. Like you're not going to be dealing with me over the phone. We're going to have a face-to-face interaction on something like that. If you're bold enough to do it. I just don't like that. I mean, it's unfair and it's untrue. That's the thing. It's untrue. That's the biggest part. So when we get into this whole race thing, like I just closed 3 loans in the last 3 weeks for some folks that are African American, right? Or as I like to call them, just humans. Like we all are. Like we're all people. And I enjoyed working with all of these folks. I do loans for everyone, right? In the mortgage industry. That's what I do. I'm a mortgage banker. And we're all taking pictures together. We're hugging. We're getting along well. Like everything's great. Folks, I want to say this to you right now, and I hope everybody out there listens. If you get anything out of the takeover this morning, is that we get along a lot better than they want us to think we do. We get along a lot better than they want us to think we do. I promise you that. And those of you that live outside of your shell a little bit, you've got friends from all walks of life, here, there, everywhere. We know people that are not that don't look exactly like we do, right? And thank God some of them don't. I'm glad. Hey, everybody else, look, if you saw Facebook right now, you'd be glad that you don't look like me, right? But at the same token, we get along a lot better than they're letting us, than they are trying to lead us to believe. We do. There are pockets of places everywhere that just have some really bad information floating around, some bad things being taught. And in our school system and everywhere else. So, let's all come together, man. Can't we all just get along? You're damn right we can. It's called turning off the TV, turning off the crap that we're getting fed every day, or finding an outlet that actually provides real information and something of substance that's true. I'm tired of the hyperbole, of just nonsense. It just doesn't make sense. So anyway, you know what? We get along a lot better than they want us to believe. They being the news media and politicians. Because, see, all the pot stirring drives ratings up, if you haven't noticed, and advertisers pay for commercial time, and there's a big money machine behind it. So you're damn right they're going to stir the pot. They're going to keep stirring the pot because it's profitable. So, folks, sit back, take a step back, make a decision to analyze information from a open mind and just an open perspective. For real. Like, I'm willing to listen to what anybody's thoughts are. Don't scream them at me, and don't act like that I am automatically wrong because I don't agree with you. I will be more than happy to listen to you and your take on things. I may not agree with it, but I'll still respect you. And that's where we got to get back to, is a common sense of respect, amongst folks, and I think that'll go a long way in helping our country turn down the noise and enjoy coming back together after this COVID stuff is starting to dissipate, as far as the vaccine being rolled out and all that. So we're going to take a quick break. TK gave me the old break sign. But join us. Come on back in a few moments. We'll be right back on Mornings with Joe Catenacci. I'm your guest host, Ben Hawkins. This is the Lend with Ben show takeover of Mornings with Joe Catenacci. Stay tuned.
We wouldn't sell you a dining room table, so don't buy a medical device from a furniture store. US Med Express is Wilmington's leading supplier of Golden Technology lift and sleep chairs, carrying a variety of models in our showroom at 1733 Dawson Street. Our chairs lead the industry in power lift recliner features and advances in technology. Our chairs are FDA certified as medical devices, which means it's 100% tax deductible and helps with a number of medical conditions, including arthritis, poor circulation, and sleep apnea. Give us a call today at 910-500-6162 or stop by and experience our chairs for yourself at 1733 Dawson Street. That's 910-500-6162. 1733 Dawson Street in Wilmington. US Med Express.
Folks, we all know ongoing road construction and traffic can weigh heavy on your vehicle. Since 2006, O'Leary's Automotive Repair has provided comprehensive repair services at affordable prices to get you back on the road in no time. Their ASE certified technicians will help you find a cost-effective repair and maintenance alternatives. O'Leary's has multiple locations in the area in Hampstead, Leland, the Myrtle Grove area, Ogden, and Wrightsboro. O'Leary's Automotive Repair, a trusted, locally owned business since 2006.
Tune in to the WWAY News at 6 p.m.
Thank you for joining us tonight for your News at 6. I'm Hannah Patrick.
I'm Randy Aldridge. We want to get straight to our WWAY team coverage of last night.
For the biggest and most compelling stories that make a difference.
On the scene shortly after the blaze began and has the story now.
Leland is one of the fastest growing towns in the country.
First court appearance this morning in Pender County.
WWAY News at 6 p.m. This is the place.
Welcome back, everybody, to Mornings with Joe Catenacci. I'm your guest host today on this wonderful Friday morning. We're going to raise the blinds in the studio, TK. I need to be able to see what's going on the river out there. Cape Fear River. Of course, we're on the 9th floor of the Murchison building, overlooking beautiful downtown Wilmington, North Carolina. So we get a great shot of the Cape Fear River. We're right across from the battleship. And it's just beautiful this morning. The water's flat. It's like, what's the weather supposed to be like today? Let's give you the weather report. I know Justin McKee comes on at some point during Joe's show and does the weather report. But listen, he's a meteorologist, and I'm a mortgage banker. I really think that I'm more qualified to do this. I really do. So, Justin, if you're listening, I'm sorry, but it's not only a takeover of the Joe Catenacci show, it's also a takeover of your weather report. It looks like it's going to be a high of 88 today, folks, and that's going to be taking place between 2 and 3 p.m. And I hope you don't really, write that down because it's probably wrong. I'm actually looking. See, this is how much of a weatherman I am. I actually pulled up the app on my iPhone and looked at the Apple weather report. And if you ever, I was talking about news a minute ago. If you ever read Apple News, it's the biggest pile of garbage. I don't mind saying that out loud. Every bit of it is just complete garbage. They bring in all the heavy hitters from all the left-leaning sites, and it is just a roundup of a collection of nonsense. It makes me want to throw my Apple products away, I swear, but I can't stand Android and Samsung. I just can't. I can't stand the way they operate. So until somebody makes a better product, I guess I'm using that because I use my phone all the time. I was reading on a little bit about the G7 summit with, President Biden going over to meet with Putin and other world leaders. There's been a lot of reporting on different things that have happened around there. It's interesting when you look through, just Google, Joe Biden G7 trip. And it's so funny. What I like to do sometimes is read like some of the news outlets that are reporting. Like, I like to read their difference in their headline. You get a left-leaning site or media outlet, and it's just Joe Biden's the best, right? Like, he's amazing. You get a conservative, then we see the things that are going on with the speech, with the thought process, with speaking, with everything else, and I think a lot of people see some issues there, and I hope the man's okay. I just don't feel bad for him because he knew exactly what he was doing, and so did the people around him. They did this for power. They did this for a grab, and so now if you say to me, "Hey, you need to leave him alone. He's an older guy," well, you asked for it. You're on the biggest stage in the world, and you asked for it. So, apparently President Putin was praising him. Praising Joe Biden. Apparently him and Putin have made friends of some sort. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I mean, Joe called him Joe Biden. That is not Joe Catenacci. Maybe Joe Catenacci did, but I didn't hear him say it. Joe Biden, President Biden had called Putin a killer in previous comments. And then when he was pushed on those comments during a news conference after I guess their meeting, boy, he got mad. He got really, really upset. And I don't know why. I mean, if you make comments, you need to stand behind them. It's kind of like the border situation when during the election cycle, when you were doing the preliminaries, right? Like the primaries. Pardon me, the primary races in the specific parties. The primary races, they openly on stage said, "Come on. The border's going to be open." I mean, they essentially said that to everyone. They did. You can go back and watch the tape. Come on. Come on. Da-da-da. So you invited people here, and then it creates chaos, right? And then you don't deal with it. Well, there's no way possible that any free-thinking individual thinks any of that is a good idea. We're going to invite you to come. We're going to invite you to come, and it's going to create an absolute hysteria. Cartels, I mean, people all you have to do is go to the border and ask the people there that are working. All you have to do is go there and ask the officials, the elected officials that are running the towns and the cities, the counties, everything in those states. They'll tell you what's going on. It's right there. But we act like it's not. We act like it's not because it doesn't benefit a certain agenda. It doesn't meet the criteria of you thinking that someone is the greatest person in the world because they're made out to be that way, when in fact the policies that are happening here and the lack of the lack of transparency, the lack of everything that's gone on at the border, the lack of leadership is very scary. So you all sat down there and you invited people to come up here. You did. And then they come and you have a problem. And then you appoint the VP as the border czar. And 90 days later, the border czar has yet to go to the border. She's flown over it to go to Guatemala, where she embarrassed herself. But in her defense, she did ask, she did say, look, you know what? I say embarrass herself. I mean, honestly, it's just, the whole thing's embarrassing. But I will say one thing that Kamala Harris did, I don't even know, that Vice President Harris did while she was there. She got on camera and she said what they should have said months ago and a year ago is don't come. Don't come right now. Do it the right way. But to blame migration and people coming to the border to try to cross illegally, to blame that on climate change, folks, I am so tired of this. I'm just an average guy. I'm an average, hardworking person. I'm trying to raise a family in this crazy world. I'm trying to raise a son in this crazy world. I'm trying to teach him the right way to do things. I'm also trying to still learn the right way to do things myself at 39 years old. I have a lot to learn each and every day. It is hard enough. It is hard enough to out there as a hardworking person, as an American citizen. It's hard enough to get by with just, trying to get things right. And then we have all this stuff that's going on that I didn't vote for. And I submit that a lot of other people didn't either. That are really setting us up for a bad way. I worry about what's going to be left for my son when he's of age. What's going to be in 20, 30 years of our country. If we keep going down this road that we're on, folks, where America's wrong, we are actually have people in Congress that are openly supporting a terrorist organization in Hamas. Folks, you can say what you want about Israel. They started firing rockets at Israel. And that's what the reporting says. See, that's the thing, though. I don't even know. I can't trust anything anymore. But I do choose to trust that the good people of Israel are our allies and that they're not out there just blowing people up. You don't see them setting off car bombs. You don't see them doing all that. They defend themselves. I haven't seen them perpetrate a major war. I haven't. Maybe I need to be educated. I don't know, but I'm over it. We are defending a terrorist organization in Hamas. We have people in Congress that are doing that. That is completely unacceptable, and it's completely un-American. I'll never forget 9/11. Some people just didn't do something. It was a coordinated, calculated attack by terrorists. But we need to take a break, folks. So there's a lot of breaks on this show. I need to work that out with Joe. We need to get that. I don't know. There's a lot of breaks here. No, I'm just teasing, man. It's all good. We'll be right back on Mornings with Joe Catenacci. I am your guest host, Ben Hawkins. We will talk to you soon.
Hello, I'm Jeff Rivenbark with WWAY News. A tropical storm warning has been issued for parts of Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama as a potential tropical cyclone advances toward the northern Gulf Coast. The warning extends from intracoastal city Louisiana to the Alabama-Florida border. Forecasters at the National Hurricane Center say heavy rainfall and flooding will likely be the most significant hazard, with the storm reaching the coast later today. The United States has a new federal holiday, Juneteenth. President Joe Biden officially signing it into law, making Juneteenth our nation's 12th official federal holiday. Juneteenth commemorates the day when the last enslaved African Americans learned they were free. Confederate soldiers surrendered in April of 1865, but word didn't reach the last enslaved black people until June 19th, when Union soldiers brought the news to Galveston, Texas. The holiday goes into effect immediately, but since the 19th is tomorrow, most federal employees will observe the holiday today. Leland Town Council voting last night to annex a planned 90-acre housing community into the town. The proposed Demarest Park development is off Highway 17, right outside Leland town limits. That area is now part of the town. According to town documents, the plot of land will be split into 329 lots, with the first phase of construction including about 90 homes. And summer begins Sunday, but the summer heat has already arrived in the Cape Fear, and that could pose danger for pets. Here are some tips. Limit their playtime outside to the mornings or later in the evening when it's not quite as hot as the middle of the day. When they're playing, make sure there's lots of shade and cool water is close by for them to drink. And as with children, never leave pets in a hot car. June through August are the deadliest months for hot car deaths involving pets. For more on these stories, head over to WWAYTV3.com. I'm Jeff Rivenbark. Have a great day.
Happy Friday, everybody. I'm WWAY meteorologist Ramel Carpenter with your Storm Track 3 forecast. Well, today's going to be another quiet day across the Cape Fear as we close out the work week. If you're inland of the coast, temperatures are going to be jumping into the upper 80s and the low 90s, perhaps a few degrees above the average for this time of year. Mostly sunny skies and a nice beach day. The coastal areas will be topping off in the middle 80s, low-end risk for rip currents, and that'll be the case as we head into the first half of the weekend as well. But tonight, our temperatures only managed to fall down to the upper 60s and the low 70s. Get your full forecast on WWAY, WWAYTV3.com.
This news and weather is brought to you by Two Men and a Truck. For your free quote, go to twomenandatruck.com. twomenandatruck.com.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Mornings with Joe Catenacci, live on 106.7 FM, the Big Talker Radio. I'm your guest host today, Ben Hawkins. And for those of you that don't know me, I'm the branch manager for Cross Country Mortgage here in Wilmington, North Carolina. I'm also the host of the Len with Ben show, which airs every Saturday morning from 9 to 10 a.m. live on 106.7 FM, the Big Talker. And as always, guys, we're so glad to be with you all. My show, the Len with Ben show, we speak about mortgage and real estate. Here on Joe's show, it's more political, talk politics, talk shop, this, that, and the other, and we will be getting into some of that this morning. I don't have a bunch of guests lined up for you today. I just didn't feel like doing all that. It's a lot of recruitment. I'm busy enough as it is, and, I'm just coming on here to help my old buddy Joe out. I'm trying to give him a ratings boost. We for those of you that listen to my show, on Saturday mornings from 9 to 10, I issued a ratings challenge about 3 weeks ago to Joe because he always talks about how he's the number one show, number one this, number one that. Well, Joe, I tend to disagree. All right, I tend to disagree. Even if you're right, I still disagree because I don't like that. I don't like the sound of you having higher ratings than I do. However, Joe, I issued a challenge to him, a ratings challenge, and my show airs Saturday morning, but it's also re-airing on Tuesday nights as well. Well, Joe pulled the plug on the show for Tuesday night and put in. What is it? Brunswick. What's it called? Brunswick. Everything Brunswick? All things Brunswick. Great show, by the way. Really happy for those guys. But I had to give Joe a load of crap about it because Joe, after I issued the ratings challenge, took my show off Tuesday, re-airing from 6 to 7. As soon as I did that. So, Joe, I saw I see your calculated play, and I'm not happy about it. But that's okay because now I'm here. I get 3 hours out of your time. To come on air, and I'm going to try to see if I can. I think the station actually may be asking me to contractually do this at least twice a week to help you out, for a ratings boost. Hey, guys, we have a caller. Caller, welcome to Mornings with Joe Catenacci.
Yes, sir. How you doing today?
I'm doing well. Who am I speaking with?
This is Jerry.
Jerry, what can I do for you?
Well, first of all, it sounds like Joe changed the rules after the game started. That sounds like something he's been railing against for a year or so. You need to get on him about that.
Well, listen, I am on him constantly. If you tune into my show and then this show, if you tune in for the next 2.5 hours, you'll probably hear that talked about at least 5 more times, maybe 6.
Well, real quick, I kind of called a little bit of a conversation yesterday, but bottom line is they were talking about, the guy started out and said, I think I've changed my stance on term limits. So I'm assuming he went from none to now he wants term limits. And I was going to call in, but I got busy doing something else. But here's my thoughts on term limits. My gut reaction is, look, I don't like term limits because if there's some stud in there, I want to be able to vote for whoever I want to vote for. But because the landscape has changed, something certainly needs to be done. So I'm putting this out there as a thought. My thought is, look, you can serve as many times as you can get voted in, but you can only serve consecutively like twice. Then you got to take a break, like the 4, 6, or 2 year break. So what that will do is it still allows me to vote for you, but I may have to take a 4-year break. But then you also have to live under what you passed, like immediately. You don't get these special, I'm a senator, I'm a, whatever rules that you get to live under. So that kind of seems to be for me at least, a balance of both where, okay, I still get to choose my guy or girl or whoever they feel like they are today. And also, it also puts a block out there like, okay, remember, you're going to be off for, the next 4 years, and what you're voting for now, you're going to have to live under that, which you should have to anyway. But anyway, I'm just kind of putting that thought out there as a possible, I guess, compromise.
No, Jerry, and I appreciate your thoughts. I think, with term limits and everything, I mean, the problem we have is we have career politicians that have been up there 40, 50 years now that are multi-millionaires, and that job doesn't pay. It pays what, $175,000, $200,000 roughly. I mean, give or take a couple thousand, whatever. To say it pays $200,000. I mean, you can accumulate wealth over that time, but why would you want to? I mean, I just don't. 1 + 1 = 2. And when you have people that have been in power for too long, they are too open to corruption. There's things that go on. We've seen it play out day in and day out. Where there's something just doesn't smell right. And I think the longer these people are allowed to stay in, and again, they have to be voted in, but it's hard to get some of them out of there. After a while. Yeah. I mean, you look at even Mitch McConnell. I mean, I've about had it. I've had it with him for a long time, just because they're flighty. Like they talk out both sides of their mouth. Like you want to be a conservative leader, but then you go the other route too. I just don't like that. Be who you are and compromise when you need to, but don't talk out of both sides of your mouth.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't disagree with you, but if they don't have that mantle, the problem is they get to stand in front of that TV, and that's where they get the advantage of being an incumbent. Because then you get all your righteous indignation just before election. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I totally get it, and unfortunately, like they say in a democracy, we get the government we deserve. But saying that, if it does get them off the pedestal for 4 years, or unless they're going to pay on their own time, or somehow make a ruckus, they're kind of away from it. But there's a book called Throw Them All Out. I can't remember who it's by. You know him. He's kind of a famous author.
Well, I don't know who he is, Jerry, I don't know who he is, but I can tell you I already like him already. I love him, actually.
Well, he was going through what you're talking about, like the gray areas where, these politicians know, especially the powerful ones, hey, we're going to run a railway through that piece of property way over there. If we get this through, hey, let's go ahead and buy property close to that railway. And little stuff like that where it's not illegal, but they make money off of it that way. I mean, just because they know what's coming down the line and they can control it. So it's a conflict of interest. So it's a pretty interesting book.
Well, Jerry, think about
this.
It's
good talking to you.
Yeah, you too, Jerry. Something I think about too is you've got term limits for president, right? 2 terms, that's it. But the thing is, if you really look at it, the president can only do so much. Congress has the power. I mean, it's the power in numbers, right? So when you look at the Senate, you look at the House, they really, in my opinion, and again, I'm just an average everyday guy. In my opinion, there needs to be some term limits, the same there is for a president, because they have a lot of power, and they're open to a lot of corruption. There's a lot of lobbying, special interests. I mean, they're going to do what's best for them and their family. And if they're in there that long, it just gives them more opportunity to steal and to not be good. I don't know too many career politicians that I can honestly say have gone out without having a lot of issues. I say that, but look at this. Joe was in there for 40 years in the Senate, and now he's the president. I mean, these people have been in government too long. We just need fresh ideas. We need fresh folks in there. That way, the corruption level can hopefully stay down a bit, and let people decide. I don't know. I'm over it.
It'd be fresh corruption, at least, nothing else.
Well, I mean, let's hope not. I mean, I'm so tired of it. I'm tired of paying into an institution that does some of the dumbest things I've ever seen in my life. I really am. But you know what?
I can tell you that. I can tell you this real quick, and I'm conservative. I'm a libertarian conservative. I didn't vote for Trump either time. Not that I was against. Well, the first time I kind of thought I wasn't sure about it because he was so bombastic that anybody else would have been off that stage. Anybody else. And I'm thinking, this is a Trojan horse here. They're letting him through, right? But I like his policies. But what I found out is, hey, when I'm in these debates, people that are so crazy against Trump, man, they're just, you're Trump, blah, 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 blah. And I'm trying to talk points. And then finally at the end of it, I go, well, I didn't vote for him. Now what do you got to say? Let's try to stay on this. The second time I thought to myself, wait a minute, and what I did is I found somebody on the other side who was not crazy about, 16 was not crazy about their person. And I'm like, I don't know Trump, and he seems, I don't know. We voted for each other. I said, look, I'm not giving up a vote. You vote for me, I'll vote for you. And I thought to myself, if everybody did that, 50% split here, then maybe nobody gets voted in and you say, okay, you guys try again. Come on, show me what you got. These two ain't going to be in. So, anyways.
Well, Jerry, you lost me at I didn't vote for Trump either time. You lost me there, and after that, I just went to sleep. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, Jerry. Thanks so much for calling in, man. I hope you have a blessed and awesome Friday and amazing weekend. Okay.
All right, thanks.
Awesome, Jerry. Thanks for calling in, guys. We do have the call-in line open if you'd like to call in and rap with us. 910-299-7535. 910-299-7535. That is the call-in line for Mornings with Joe Catenacci. The Takeover edition by your good old buddy Linwood Ben over here. Folks, we're going to take a quick break. TK, he keeps on snapping his fingers at me, and when TK says jump, I tend to jump. I mean, I just have to. So we'll be back on Mornings with Joe Catenacci. I'm your guest host, Ben Hawkins. Please stay tuned.
Would you get on an airplane if you knew it had a 50% chance of crashing? You may be riding that plane right now. If you have your money in a 401k or IRA and you plan to take out the recommended percentage each year when you retire, your chance of running out of money is 50%. 50%. But there's a better and safer way to secure your income in retirement. Discover how in a free book called Rescue Your Retirement. This wealth building strategy has never had a losing year in more than a century. In fact, even the man who invented the 401k now prefers this method instead. Get Rescue Your Retirement free for just a small shipping charge and enjoy a safe landing and a comfortable retirement. Get this free book and make sure you don't run out of money. Hurry, this offer is extremely limited. To get your free copy, just go to growwealthsafely.com. That's growwealthsafely.com to discover how to rescue your retirement. growwealthsafely.com.
Not crazy about the dentist? We understand. At Thrive Family Dental, we want to change your dental experience. Dr. Freeberg offers dental care that comes with understanding and lots of dad jokes. We will ensure you are comfortable by offering noise-canceling headphones, TVs to catch up on your favorite shows, and our on-site service dog, Meadow. Look forward to your next appointment. Visit us at Thrive Family Dental, now offering a $99 special for new patients. Online at thrivefamilydental.com.
The Wilmington Cape Fear Home Builders Association serves as the advocate for the building industry, advancing professionalism and promoting community involvement. We are a positive force for responsible growth while protecting property rights and the privilege of home ownership. 3 out of every 5 jobs is touched in some manner by construction in our region. Growth generates jobs, maintains our property values, and builds and updates our infrastructure. Join us Friday mornings for the Construction Connection with the Wilmington Cape Fear Home Builders Association and the Big Talker FM.
Government has become too big, too overtaxing, and is constantly over-regulating every aspect of your life.
If you agree with that, tune into Consumer Choice Radio every Saturday at 10 a.m. here on the Big Talker 106.7 FM with me, Yael Osowski.
And me, David Clement. For an hour, you'll get expert analysis on what the government is sinking its teeth into next and how you, as a consumer, can push back.
ConsumerChoiceRadio.com.
I'm Mark Allen, and this is Radio Free Dixie. In 1924, the United States Congress, by unanimous vote, approved the minting of a $50 coin displaying the images of Confederate Generals Robert E. Lee and Stonewall Jackson. On the reverse side of the coin, we read, "Memorial to the valor of the soldiers of the South." Since then, the United States Post Office has issued numerous postage stamps honoring the Confederacy's president and the military leaders. The Sons of Confederate Veterans are dedicated to honoring all America's veterans, including Confederate veterans. Learn more about your heritage and the Sons of Confederate Veterans at MakeDixieGreatAgain.org. That's MakeDixieGreatAgain.org. Join with us today.
I am State Farm Agent Rob Renz, and I want to help you get to a better place. Visit us online at ilminsurance.com. That's ilminsurance.com. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Welcome back, everybody, to Mornings with Joe Catenacci. I am your guest host today, Ben Hawkins, host of the Lim with Ben show that airs every Saturday morning from 9 to 10 a.m. live on 106.7 FM, The Big Talker. Our old buddy Joe Catenacci asked me to fill in. Actually, he had sent an email out to several folks and said, hey, would you like to fill in? And I thought to myself, well, Joe, I'm very upset you didn't give me the whole week. I think your listeners would have really enjoyed hearing me for a whole week, 3 hours a day, and then on Saturday for an hour. But I probably would have upped my show from an hour to 3 hours, too, on Saturday, just for the heck of it, just so I can say I did it and to keep you entertained and satisfied. That's the thing. It's all about you guys, right? Yeah. TK just, TK needs coffee this morning. Look, here comes the microphone. Yep, I knew it was bound to happen.
There's not enough coffee for that.
Well, listen, I knew that's you were bound to wake up at some point. Okay, there's not enough coffee for that. So TK pulled up the microphone to tell us there's not enough coffee to make him get on the microphone right now. But he just took a swig. Hold on.
16 hours of Ben Hawkins in a week.
Hawkins, not Hawkins. I
prefer the smart guy.
See, he's misspeaking. He's misspeaking because he hasn't had enough coffee yet.
Well, I'm doing the morning day job, and I'm doing my job. I'm stretched.
TK works like 23 hours a day. Okay, so right now he'll get up at like 5 in the morning, 4, because it takes him a little while to get moving. But he gets up before.
It's an hour drive.
It's an hour drive. So TK comes in here, and then are you playing a gig tonight?
Played one last night, had video shoot yesterday, have another video shoot immediately after this, and then I do Cucaloras.
Okay, so do you have a show this weekend that you'll be picking the bass? He doesn't even know, folks.
I think so, but
He's
I'm
such
not
a rock.
awake, man.
Listen, hold on. We're going to have to talk to his booking agent. We're going to have to talk to his manager, his tour manager, and figure out what's going on here.
Oh, I haven't toured in 30 years.
Well, you know what? We're going to get you a manager. We'll get you a road manager, kind of like a Colonel Parker. Was that Colonel Parker that was with Elvis? Who was Elvis's manager?
No idea.
Colonel Tom Parker. Yeah, it was.
No idea.
It had to be. I'm almost positive it was Colonel Tom. But anyway, we'll get you like a Colonel Tom, and they can like just guide you around everywhere.
Oh, I would so prefer that.
Yeah?
Yeah, because, who wouldn't rather play music?
All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to let TK take a nap then, because TK is tired, and we're going to let him wake up.
And you got 7 minutes.
And come into himself. He's going to come into himself. Well, I have 7 minutes, so I definitely want to, during the takeover, one of the many advantages of the takeover of the Morning with Joe Catenacci show today is that I get to give my sponsors of the Lim with Ben show some love anytime I want. So, I could be in mid-sentence and just stop and say, hey, guys, and then get into the live read. I can do that. See, I have free autonomy now. I do. I feel like the king of the world right now. I really do. It's unbelievable. The power that comes with hosting the Joe Catenacci show. It's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. I'm being silly right now. But anyway, what I'm not being silly about is who you need to call here for these services. Carolina Coast Cleaning Service. Call Carolina Coast Cleaning today for all of your residential, commercial, COVID-19 sanitation services and more. Carolina Coast Cleaning Services are family-owned and operated and even clean my personal home. God bless them. They even clean my and they do. They've been doing it for a long time now, and they just never give up on me. They never give up on me. I'm proud of them. I feel bad for them having to clean my house. Call for a free quote today, 910-239-7560, or visit their website at carolinacoastcleaningnc.com. Well, that took me a second. My eyes had to adjust. carolinacoastcleaningnc.com. Also, our great friend Abby Reese with North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, whether it's home, auto, or even life insurance, fourth-generation Farm Bureau agent Abby Reese has you covered. Call her today to check out all that Abby Reese with Farm Bureau Insurance has to offer. 336-707-3538. or email her at abby.reese@ncfbins.com. And those of you that are enjoying the background music, I feel like I'm going to a sushi restaurant or a spa.
It's for the sponsor reel.
I know.
So your read doesn't sound as dry.
Well, listen, can you do me a favor? Can you just play this through the whole show for the next 2 hours and 5 minutes? Yes. And I'll just talk behind it. You are now feeling calm. You are relaxed. Breathe deeply.
All things considered.
All things considered. That was great. See, I'm completely at ease now. I'm completely at calm. Can I actually have that for one more read?
Sure.
Yes, let's go again.
You ready?
Yeah, listen, I'm ready.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Okay. Just move it. When it's time to move out of your home or business, it's time to call Just Move It. Local or long distance, they have you covered. 910-795-7658. Or visit their website at movingcompanywilmingtonnc.com. Now, wasn't that wonderful?
Don't you feel better?
I want to do that. Like, I want to keep reading those behind that. That was fun.
Yeah.
I think
I set this up like a month ago for your regular show.
With that same music?
I experimented.
No, yeah, you've experimented.
This is like the third one.
Well, see, the experimental music that you provided before was not as calming and fluid as that.
I tried, but yeah, this one is incredibly
relaxed,
lowering your blood pressure.
I know. I'm totally at ease right now. All things considered.
And already you're not left or right. You're just kind of centered.
I am centered, man. I am. Well, now I'm very centered, but normally I am anyway.
The hippie got some tricks.
Well, yes, we do, TK. Yes, we do. We got a bag of tricks. That's for sure.
I'll calm you right down.
Who's ready for some calmness? Man, everybody's on their way to work. No, they're not worried about being calm right now. We should do that at like 6 or 7 at night, TK. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start a meditation show. That's what I'll do. And we'll just sit here like this the whole time. Listen. And we'll meditate for like an hour. No, I don't even want the music on that one, though. Meditate. Yeah, I do, actually. Okay, let's just sit here. Let's listen to that. That's going to work out perfect.
Hours of meditation music.
Man, well, I hear you. I'm ready to meditate for hours.
Not to put you to sleep. It's just meant to help still your mind.
Yes. Inform your shape.
And relax your breathing.
Relax your breathing.
So that way you can tackle that SOB at the bar tomorrow night. Take them down.
Well, I don't want to go to the bar tomorrow night. I better be in bed tomorrow night.
Oh, okay.
Especially, tonight. We got the show in the morning. Wait. Let me calm down. We have the show in the morning. The Lynn with Ben show from 9 to 10. And then Saturday evening, I believe I'll just be hanging out with my boy.
I'm already liking this.
A 4-year-old is not very much fun to take out to the bar. It is a bad place for them. I feel so tranquil right now. I'm just loving it. Chad Adams is going to have a blast. You know what we ought to do when Chad comes on at 8:05? You know what we ought to do? We ought to play this through the whole thing. Just the whole thing. I can't hear you, TK. Your mic's dead.
I have one for Chad.
You have a Woosah moment or Woosah song for Chad?
Kind of, yeah. It's more South American, but it's just as much fun.
Man, we are amazing
music
over here.
Is global.
What? What happened?
Music is global.
Oh, it is global, yes.
So it's not necessarily Asian or Eastern or Russian.
Sure. You know, well, it's cultural, right? Different culturs have different music, but it's for everybody's ears. So it is universal.
Almost as universal as smiling.
Yes. I'm getting focused. I'm getting homed in. TK, we're teaching people right now how to relax on their morning drive. But folks, relax and meditate with your eyes open. Do not, if you're driving, eyes open, okay? Do not meditate to the place where you are elevating off of your seat in your car, because I'm certain your feet won't touch the pedals at that point. So you got to be able to brake it, you know? You got to be able to put on the brakes and all that. This has been amazing, TK. I feel completely in touch with my, what's the thing in yoga they call it? Your
chi.
Is that what? No.
Well, that's in the Oriental martial arts philosophy is your chi is your centered energy.
Okay, this is something else. Your kundra or tundra. I don't know what it is.
Oh, you're thinking chakras.
Yes, chakra. Thank you.
Okay, those are basically gateways to the spiritual self, which I don't personally subscribe to.
Well, I mean, I don't know anything about it. I just know that I just couldn't think of the word, and now I'm happy that I know what a chakra. It's quite shocking, the chakra. I don't know what's happening right now. I think we need to take a break because I'm absolutely losing my mind.
Yeah, it's about time for some news.
Ready? Now I need to wake up. See, TK, you put me to sleep, and now you're going to wake me back up with all the Mountain Dew bottles in here. Look, by the way, have you had a Mountain Dew yet today before we take a break?
Just starting on them.
Just starting, okay. Folks, the coffee's in the system, and the Mountain Dew is here. And anyway, gang, when we come back, we're going to have our great friend Chad Adams on the Mornings with Joe Catenacci show. That was purposely done there. But it's a Lim with Ben takeover. You can Hong Kong believe that. We're having a lot of fun with you guys this morning. Hope you're, are you entertained? Are you entertained? All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with Chad Adams in a few minutes. Thanks.
Keeping Whiteville informed. The Big Talker 106.7 FM WFBT, Carolina Beach.
You wanted to see me?
Yes, please, have a seat. So here's the thing. When this company brought you on, we took a chance on you. You didn't have that 4-year college degree we typically look for.
Right.
But we gave you a shot anyway. And since then, you've worked incredibly hard and given it your all.
Thanks.
You've been an important asset to the team, but I don't think you can be an intern here anymore. We want to hire you.
You're serious?
Absolutely.
Find your next great employee. Introduce yourself to the Grads of Life. Who are they? Talent worth knowing about. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or even mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
I won't let you down.
I know.
Don't miss out on a resource many innovative companies have already discovered. Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
Greg Abbott signing a series of gun-related bills, including one allowing people to carry handguns without a permit.
Just look at the ranchers who live in South Texas who are being invaded on a daily basis by people coming across the border. They need to have a gun to be able to defend themselves against cartels and gangs and other very dangerous people. There is a need for people to have a weapon to defend themselves.
Stock futures in the red this morning on Wall Street. Right now, Dow futures down 153 points. NASDAQ futures off 1. S&P futures 11 points lower. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Pounds and pounds of fur. Our hairballs have hairballs.
Our cat Mama, she's 10 years old. She has dandruff and an oily coat.
I have 2 cats, Dixie and Daisy. Daisy sheds like crazy.
If you love your pets as much as I do, you want to do what's best for them to live long, healthy, happy lives.
DINOVITE.com. I just tried this wonderful Catalicious Dynavite for cats, and my cat has been on it for 2 weeks. She is not scratching anymore. She's not chewing anymore. It is just the best.
I was thrilled when I heard Dynavite for cats was coming out because I had seen the changes in my dog. To introduce my cats to Dynavite, I took the advice from Dynavite and put their food on top of just a scoop in the bowl, just to get them used to it, because I know if I even switch one little thing, they put their nose up to it. There was not one problem.
Dynavite for life. You won't believe how happy your cat will be.
DINOVITE.com.
Especially tough times for one sector of the British economy, as the BBC's Theo Leggett explains.
The combined effects of the pandemic and the new rules and customs formalities introduced at the end of the Brexit transition period have had a dramatic impact on Britain's exports of food and drink to the European Union. In the 3 months to the end of March, they were down 47% compared to last year, according to the Food and Drink Federation. Shipments to China, however, grew sharply. A spokesman for the Federation said the loss in exports to the EU was a disaster for the industry.
And that is the BBC's Theo Leggett. Lufthansa's chief executive says the company aims to pay back billions of euros in aid provided to help the airline through the pandemic before Germany's election in late September. Germany's biggest airline, which also owns carriers including Austrian Airlines, received a €9 billion government rescue package about a year ago. Townhall.com. Can you mix and match two-dose COVID-19 vaccines?
It's likely safe and effective, but researchers are still gathering data to be sure. The authorized COVID-19 shots around the world are all designed to stimulate your immune system to produce virus-fighting antibodies, though the way they do so varies. Scientists at Oxford University in the United Kingdom are testing combinations of the two-dose COVID-19 vaccines made by AstraZeneca, Moderna, Novavax, and Pfizer-BioNTech. John Scott reporting.
A string of notable American women will appear on the U.S. Quarter under a 4-year program that begins in 2022. The U.S. Mint says its American Women Quarters program will celebrate women's accomplishments and contributions to U.S. history. Again on Wall Street this hour, Dow futures down 144 points, NASDAQ futures off 24. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Please stand by.
We now take you live to the Institute of Rational Thought for a special broadcast. Hard-hitting interviews and relevant information to make your day. It's Chad Adams.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm not Chad Adams, but I am Ben Hawkins. And this is the takeover. This is the takeover of Mornings with Joe Catenacci. We do have our good buddy Chad Adams on the line. Chad, welcome.
Man, that confused me for a minute. I thought, wait, I'm hearing this intro. I know this intro.
Chad,
it's like, wait, Ben's there, but it's Joe's show. And now I'm confused, and I'm like, okay, well, we're going to have fun.
Well, listen,
good to hear your voice, man.
Yeah, you too, Chad. Listen, speaking of confused, I stay that way, but I'm awfully confused after the commercial break. So listen, Chad, let me set this up for you real quick, okay? During the break, I like to surf around on Facebook, see if anybody's commenting or simply looking around for different things that interest me. Well, I went to the 106.7, the Big Talker Facebook page, right, that I'm a big fan of, and I'm scrolling through the magnificence of this page, and I come to a post, and I instantly stop, and I say, why not me? And what I mean by that, Chad, is you guys, and whoever set this up, I don't know if it's Joe, TK, whoever, they have made these digital flyers for the guest host. I see Andrew Donaldson's smiling face. I see Yao. He's on there. Where is my billboard?
$50.
$50?
I think 50. That was TK. That was good. I like that. TK, they just like subliminally $50. I don't know. I don't imagine I have one on there. But,
well, Chad, you don't. But see, Chad, listen. You and I are different. Okay, you have
okay.
You don't have the Chad Adams show. listen. When the Chad Adams show makes a resurgence, and when you finally come back, okay, then you get a billboard. See, I have a show, Chad, and I have no billboard. It's unbelievable. I feel very mistreated. I'm very
Ben,
hurt.
Just like in politics, there's another perspective, right? It's playing cartel music. So the other perspective is, you're famous enough that you don't need a billboard.
I love it.
That's what it is. See, not as many people know Yael, and so he needs a billboard. And I'm picking on Yael because I know him, so I can do that. So, but see, you're more famous because you have your own show, so everybody knows Ben Hawkins in his voice. So there you go.
Well, see, Chad, here's the thing. I think that's a nice way of saying, Ben, we actually hid you because we don't want people knowing that you're hosting Friday because we don't want people really to listen on that day.
No,
it'll be a disaster.
Too big a personality. You've got too big a personality to hide.
Well,
no,
I know, Chad. Chad, I gotta give you grief. That's the first thing I had to do when you called in this morning. But I'm dying to hear what's going on. What's going on, Chad? Talk to our listeners. Talk to me, man. Let me know what's happening.
Well, it's so funny. So this is one of the funniest things in society to me right now is this entire debate about critical race theory. So this comes out of law schools and universities in the 70s and 80s, and it's basically this perspective that everything in American society is based on white supremacy, and that's what's, the laws to this day are based on it and things of this nature. And they've been kind of pushing this in legal worlds for a long time, and the 1619 Project embraces some of that, and it's a flawed piece of New York Times propaganda. And so it's become a cause celeb for the left to push this. Now, it hasn't made it into the schools, but a lot of people are pushing for it to get into the schools. So as we discover that it's not in the schools, but a lot of parents are waking up and realizing there are groups trying to push it in the schools. The North Carolina State Board of Education has adopted a social studies curriculum that has a lot of the underpinnings of it, and it's actually supposed to be taught in schools, and the legislature is reacting, pushing back, saying, wait a minute, we don't want any particular race to be exalted over another, and certainly not to undermine one given race against another. So here's where it gets funny. So now liberals, left, progressive, whatever you want to call them, have been pushing so hard to get this in schools. And then they've gotten this huge pushback, and the vast majority of Americans say, even the black, white, Asian, everyone's like, this is stupid. This is ridiculous, virtue signaling crap. We don't want our schools to become, even though many of them are, centers of propaganda. And so then the left's reaction now is, and we've got some of these trolls on our pages that are like, show us where it's in the schools. Show us where it's in the schools. And it's like, wait a minute. It's not in the school. We're trying to stop it from being in the schools. That's what this is about. But they're trying to change the fight to say, oh, you people on the right don't even understand what it is. It's not in the schools. You're making stuff up. And it's like, wait a minute. We didn't create this. You guys created this Frankenstein's beast. You guys are the ones who brought this terror into our world. You're the ones that are pushing this race-baiting, race-hating, hate white people thing. And then you're upset. I mean, even the Biden administration is wanting to push this, but they don't acknowledge that. Instead, they say, "Oh, Ben, you're wrong. You're acting like it's in the schools and it's not." Well, that's because parents are waking up of all races and saying, "This is not what we sent our kids to school. We didn't send them to be propagandized and teach them that America's horrible. That's not what we did." Right. And so the left is now reaping what it sowed. And that virtue signaling is a real problem for the political left right now. This is extremely unpopular, and it's hurting them.
Well, to your point, Chad, I mean, I've been watching clips of parents all over this country standing up in school board meetings and absolutely not taking it. And that's folks from all races, ethnicities, creeds, colors. Yep. I did see and I read this morning, Chad, maybe you can shine some light. Maybe you've seen anything like this. Apparently, there was a gentleman that went before the New Hanover County School Board, but refused to face them when he was speaking, and he was escorted out by the police.
Oh, wow!
Did you see that?
I did not, but I don't doubt it.
I read it this morning. I read it this morning, and I just, but the gentleman was not willing to face them. Like he had his back turned, and I don't know exactly what the content was, but I'm anxious to hear about that. If any of our listeners had, we'd love to hear.
The most alarming, but if you look at this and take it a step further and go, what's wrong with progressivism today? And it's really weird because the progressives of 100 years ago would never have embraced lockdowns. They just wouldn't have done it. They wouldn't have embraced lockdowns. They wouldn't have embraced the taking of civil liberties and things like that. And so when you see this happening nowadays, it's weird. Progressives have become very authoritarian in their approach to everything. They want you to learn things their way. They want you to have their basis. And so with COVID, one of the things coming out of this is we're going to look back is to say, really, did we really vest this much power in one person, a governor or a president or a school board? Did we really vest them with this much power over our lives? And nothing exposed the difference politically than the COVID approach. And it's very strange because we've never done these kind of lockdowns before. We didn't do it in the Spanish flu. We didn't do it in the 58. We didn't do it in the 70s. We've never done this kind of authoritarian approach to things. And so that's why. And to give you a perspective on this, so there was a recent poll done. I think it's South Dakota. I want to get it right. But so they asked questions. 400,000. It's North Dakota State University's Institute for Global Innovation. So 400,000 students from more than 1,000 different colleges and universities in all 50 states. Here's an example of some of those questions. If a professor says something that a student finds offensive, should that professor be reported to the university? Liberal students, 85% of them said yes. In other words, in college where your beliefs should be challenged, if a professor says something, 85% want to go report them to a central authority. That's shocking. What's even as shocking is 41% of conservative students said the same thing. And then another question they ask, if a student says something that other students find offensive, if a fellow student, you're in a dorm having a debate, and you get offended by something, should that student be reported? 76% of liberal students said yes. So think about that. You've got a bunch of young people that think they have the right to report you to a central authority if they're offended. That's a terrifying, bizarro world. How do these people ever expect to survive a marriage? Because I guarantee you, your wife or your husband or your significant other is going to offend you at some point in time. Do you go report them? I mean, it's just bizarre.
Right. Unreal. Chad, I was looking up some of this stuff too while you were speaking with us. About the school board incident, and apparently this gentleman was up there turning his back in protest of the sexual assault allegations and the things that have gone on. Over the last couple of years. The things that have happened.
Bad.
With the New Hanover County School Board. So he was up there doing it for that reason, and it looks like that he was asked to turn around. He refused to do it, and then he was politely asked to leave because he was not addressing the board, if you will. He was addressing the audience. So I don't know why one is more important than the other, to be honest with you. I mean, but at the same time, it looks like that they got in a little bit of a heated argument. But
a kerfluffle.
Yeah, a kerfluffle. It started out, I think, Miss Sutton on the school board told Miss Justice to stop lying. I'll be honest with you, Chad. I'm going to say this out loud. I'm not a big fan of Judy Justice, and I would say that to Miss Justice. She makes very wild claims on Facebook and then tries to defame people. I've watched her do that. It's very unfortunate. I have heard her come on Joe's show before, though, so I commend her for having the guts to do something like that and cross party lines or whatever to speak what she thinks is the truth. I just don't have a lot of respect for somebody that does that kind of stuff on Facebook. If you're going to, or any social media outlet, if you're going to be a troll, at least troll with facts, but don't troll with nonsense.
And that happens a lot. We've got trolls that we've invited to go on Joe's show. They won't go. They want to get out there and take pot shots at people or people that respond to you or me or Joe. And then you say, hey, why don't you come on the show and talk about it? Oh, no. I get plenty of attention when I go out and troll y'all's pages. So they're there for the attention. They're there to be just disagreeable. And oftentimes they attack personally. And it's a shame that we've gotten to that point when really what makes society great is where Ben can interview me, we can agree or disagree, and we keep moving forward. We keep moving the dialogue and the debate forward. And that's what makes for a healthy society is being able to criticize your government, being able to take a stand, being able to disagree without being disagreeable, without having to assault anybody. But the left, the inability for them to have these kind of salient discussions is a little terrifying.
It is. It certainly is. It leaves no room for free thinking folks on the other side to have any say in anything or any type of commentary to it, unless you want to be called a racist or you want to be put out of business. And so, Chad, honestly, here's the deal. I just like in 2016 and 2015, I got tired of all that nonsense, being called those names by the national media, being called that by political hacks that are up there to steal our money. I'm over it. We get along a lot better than people want to let us to believe. When you talk about any type of racial divide, we just have differences fundamentally in politics between some of us. But we need to be able to sit down, like you said, at the end of the day, come together as families again, and not be so one side or the other. There's no moderation anymore, Chad. It's left or right. We need to kind of get more of a moderate approach, in my opinion. But where you can fit both of those things in, where people can then have open dialogue conversations and not be, I'm right, you're wrong. It's too much right now. But here's the thing, us as conservatives, us as conservative businessmen and women, we have to fight back. Just because I say something on air about supporting Donald Trump or supporting a conservative movement does not mean I should lose my livelihood and that my son should not be able to eat food that I'm supposed to be able to provide on his plate, right? Like that doesn't mean that we should suffer because we believe in an America First agenda. We don't believe in money being sent overseas or hardworking money. I'm sorry, but this is all nonsense. It's all been manufactured for ratings. It's been manufactured to get people upset like I am now after even just thinking about it. I'm over it. I really am. I mean, and I'm not a political candidate. I'm not some brilliant scholar, but what I am is somebody that pays taxes, and I'm somebody that loves my country. And I'm getting tired of being told that I'm some other way. And then they want to teach our kids to believe that I'm some kind of way as well, right? It's a absolute disaster. 5 months in, we knew it was going to happen, and here we are.
And it is. There's two particularly insidious things about where you were going with that, which is if you and I were to have a disagreement, if one side says they're 100% correct, if you were to say, that blue is the only color and you're a racist if you don't agree with that, it forces me to take a kind of a diametrically opposed. There's no way to have a discussion. That's the end of the discussion. Then it's just about opinion. And one thinks their opinion is fact. It's when belief becomes fact that you get into these really serious problems. And you look at the differences in religious beliefs, and you see the kind of wars and hatred and loathing for centuries that goes on between cultures and society. So we need to be careful about that, because when belief becomes fact, then facts become irrelevant. And one of the issues we've got now is to have that dialogue. And on the right, what I found is one of those is about the vaccine stuff. It's one thing when the government tries to make everybody get a vaccine, and it's good to push back against that. It shouldn't be a requirement. You shouldn't have to have these passports. There are ways to have salient discussions there. But the opposite is also true when these people that say it's insidious government plot and there's, there are microchips that are being put in it, this kind of bizarre conspiracy theory way, that side also doesn't like to have a salient debate either.
Right.
And so both sides can assume some responsibility for saying, hey, let's have this debate. Let's look at the facts. But a lot of times, again, I've got people that send me stuff all the time. They're good, reasonable people until it comes to one or two issues, and then they're so dogmatic you can't have a discussion, and that's a problem.
Right. Well, the thing is, the assumption that everybody that believes a certain way is a certain kind of person, or
yep.
the label that comes with identifying as having conservative values. That doesn't mean that I don't support clean energy. I hope we can develop things technologically that will make sense for clean, renewable energy. I'm fine with that, Chad. I never had a problem with that. Listen, can we forget climate change? Can we forget global warming, as they called it for 25 years, then changed it to climate change? Then the last 10 or 5 or whatever it is. So that had a facelift, right? Because it didn't work out for Al Gore. So the whole thing, though, you get labeled as a certain thing because you believe a certain kind of way. I think renewable energy is a good idea. If we need to find the right way to incorporate it and to develop it. The thing is, that doesn't make me a liberal. That doesn't make me a left-leaning person. That just means that I want a healthy planet for my kid, right? And I'm not convinced that pumping a bunch of fumes into the air and the atmosphere is a good thing. But it's where we are right now. I'm also not suggesting that we enforce and start to make everybody have to go to electric cars. Chad, I don't think that's going to be the best energy source either. I mean, what happens if the power grid fails like it did with the Russian hackers? Then what? Are people not going to be able to drive? Same as a gas shortage?
Well,
I mean,
you said something very interesting, which is, most of us are. The key to society, the key to a successful society, and you can look right now at different nations on this planet, the hundreds of countries, or the 100 and some. Anyway, the point is, cheap, abundant energy is the key to economic success, right? Capitalism, freedom, cheap, abundant energy. Those go hand in hand. For an industrialized nation to produce goods and services, cheap, abundant energy. It's why if you have gas that's $25 a gallon, you're probably not having a real successful country right now, or your cost of living is so excessive that poor people can't survive.
Right.
So what you want is cheap, abundant energy. And if you can produce that through a combination of renewables and conventional energy, which is what we have in our country, you find a way, because the ultimate goal would be for renewables to be cheap and abundant and reliable. So you have reliable, cheap, affordable energy. That's the goal. How we get there, that's anybody's guess. But I know that innovation drives that change. And if you prop it up with government, the goal isn't for it to be perfect. The goal when it's propped up with government subsidies is it becomes a long-term gain. If you prop something up with government subsidies, the goal is to get the subsidies, right? It's not to come up with a solution, because I want to get those government subsidies as long as I can. The truth of the matter is solar and wind and these others, were they not as propped up, I strongly believe, and there's plenty of economic folks that agree with this, that it would be more advanced, that we'd have more advanced solar panels, we'd have more advanced battery tech, we'd have more advanced wind tech. But we have to also acknowledge the realities that these things can also be harmful to the environment, that the windmills chop up birds, and, that solar panels, I read one the other day that birds try to land on them thinking they're water and they die. So there's a bunch of different issues and the disposal of renewables, but I'm not putting them down. People, oh, you're against it. No, I want a cheap, reliable, affordable energy for your kids, my kids, for the world, because cheap, abundant energy is where we're going to be successful.
Absolutely. I mean, I agree 100%. And it's just, it's unbelievable, the lack of leadership we have going on right now.
But if you say that, a lot of the people on the left will instantly pants on fire. They will lose their ever-loving minds and think that you're some kind of big oil. And I'm like, I would love for big oil to support the Big Talker FM. I'd love to have, oh, you're in the pocket of big oil. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Right.
Just, they want to give us a check. We'll take it.
Chad, actually, big oil's in our pocket because right now gas prices are astronomical. So actually, we pay into that beast, not the other way around.
Yeah, I wish we could turn it around, don't you?
Well, here's the deal.
The Ben Hawkins Show, brought to you by
right,
formerly known as Texaco.
Yeah, come on, big oil. No, I mean here's the whole thing. I just I get sick and tired of the whole rhetoric. Instead of us coming together and compromising on things and having a civil discussion, like you said, it's always you're right, I'm wrong, and if you don't agree with me, then you're a racist, you're a bigot, you hate clean energy, you want to destroy the earth. Just the whole thing. I get so tired of it. It's unnecessary. It's absolutely unnecessary. And the thing is, it's being spun right now on TV, on all the streaming services, everything. Chad, it's being spun. It's being spun for ratings. And I'm telling you, it's greed. It's greed, Chad.
Well, it's more than just spun for ratings, Ben. There's an insidiousness to what we're seeing. I saw Merrick Garland the other day, our confirmed Attorney General. And he said the greatest threat to the U.S. is the white supremacist stuff. They don't name anybody. They don't name any groups. They just say white supremacy, very broad white supremacy. And, not that, terrorists could come and tear us apart, or Russian hackers that are crushing. I mean, I was visiting a company the other day that had a massive cyber attack in February that did millions of dollars of ransom damage to them. They forced them to close one of their dozens of facilities that forced them to close it because it cost them so much. So, but to say that is the kind of insidious nature where they're gearing up to try to merge the fear of white supremacy with the Republican Party. They're trying to make the conservative movement to be racist.
Chad, they're not trying. They're doing it. Because you know why?
No, they are.
Because you know why? Because the average everyday American like myself is sitting back and letting it happen. That's why. And
they're losing on the issues, so everything has to be about white supremacy. Because if people say, gosh, we do need a southern border that works, we do need a cheap, affordable energy, we do need capitalism and free markets, we do need individual rights and freedoms. So you win on all those issues. Those are issues you win on, I win on school choice. We win on the issues conservatives do amazingly well. But if then all of a sudden you can castigate everyone like Ben Hawkins, who says, if you believe that, then you're a racist, then it undermines all of the credibility of other arguments and makes it very superficial that you're ascribing a belief to someone and a way of living that's not true.
And I completely agree with that, Chad. Unfortunately, there are millions of people out there that will vote the other way because they think that that's true. Do you see what I'm saying? Because they think that what's being reported. Well, I understand that, but look at the election. 81 million people voted for Joe. I mean, why? Think about it. Think about it, Chad. If we beat them. Listen, all I'm saying is, if we beat them in policy, which we do, then we should win every election. Period. But what we do, we allow the race card to be played. We allowed all that stuff to be played out over and over again, and we sit back and take it. And here's the thing about
it's also economics, Ben. I mean, you have to turn one group. It's the rich versus the poor, right? And the rich, the left tries to. They're really good at putting these people in groups and then turning them against each other. The rich aren't paying their fair share. Well, they're paying 95% of the taxes in the country, and the poor pay none. So how can you
right?
Where we really all gain is when everybody's contributing to making America wonderful.
Well, that's the thing, and that's the whole goal. Like, I want everybody to be successful, and if that means that some of my tax dollars needs to go to help some people here and there to get on their feet, I'm okay with that. But the problem is when we just continue to do it for years and years and years and years, and we don't hold people accountable for stepping up to the plate to make things happen. Like, look at all the jobs that are available right now. Honestly, I don't know why unemployment is even a thing unless you lost your job due to some other circumstance right now, because there's so many jobs available. I don't know. Maybe your career path wasn't got shut down, and that could be the case, and I get that. But when it comes down to the amount of jobs that are available right now, restaurants are begging. First of all, they couldn't have a diner in there for a year and a half with all the rules and regulations. They were at 50%. Now they can't get enough staff to come back for the influx of people that want to come in there and dine.
And they're paying well. Then I was in 2 states this week where one of them has a factory that has 1,400 openings. They can't get people to fill them because they're making up to $900 a week to do nothing. We have incentivized not going to work, which isn't going to make our country stronger or better. When those unemployment benefits run out, and they will, these people aren't thinking long term, and they're not being told to think long term. They're being misled, and it's not that they're lazy. The government's paying them to stay home.
What would you? Why would they go to work?
Do?
Right.
You've incentivized them, and so now we do have. It's not just restaurants; it's factories. And so next time you go to the store and you can't get something because it's back ordered for 6 months, think about one of the problems. It's not just getting raw goods from different countries. It's in our country we can't find people to go to work and build things and make things, and it's a serious problem. The trucking industry is suffering from it as well. Getting goods and certain goods to a market.
Yeah, I mean anything right now. I was going to have a guest on. I guess he forgot to call in. He owns Porter's Neck Tire and Auto, Mr. Gary Lovitt. Gary was talking to me yesterday about tires, and you just can't find tires right now. Like even tires for your car. If you want to order a special kind or whatever, it's tough to get those or parts to fix vehicles. I mean, it's just right now it's just a total disaster. Anybody that thinks that this is good, I invite you to wake up. And look around you and see what's happening. I'm just saying, Chad, us as conservatives, period, we've got to stop taking it on the chin all the time. Why is it okay for folks to call us names like they do and make these slanderous comments, and we sit back and let it happen? And here's my thing. If I called Chad, if I said you're a racist today, right? If I said that to you, which I never would because you're not. If I said that to you, automatically – but from the eyes of the media, automatically, that means you are, okay?
It's conviction. It's a conviction.
Right. So my whole point is, why are we trying to get people to believe that that's the case when it's not? Like, I inherently racist. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's people out there that hate other people, black, white, whatever. They just hate people, okay? There's a lot of evil in the world. But at the same time, like, we get along a lot better than what the media wants us to think we do. I mean, I know that for a fact.
Absolutely true. Absolutely true.
It is.
Across all spectrums, across socioeconomic, it's a small, vocal minority. And I don't mean minority in race. I mean minority of beliefs.
Right.
There are small groups and pockets of people that are pushing these narratives, and they're being amplified by those in media that are propagandists, that are not interested in news, that are just propagandists. The Brian Stelters of the world, the Cuomos of the world. These are Don Lemons of the world. These are... They're propagandists.
Okay, Chad, what happened with Cuomo after he got? What's happened with the sexual allegations of sexual assault?
Still being investigated. There's like 7 investigations or something. He's still being investigated.
But you do.
He had to sign a bill to investigate himself.
Chad, you say that, but I guarantee you that the majority of the people don't even know that's still going on. You know why? Because it's not reported. It's not recorded. It's not reported. But yet somebody like Justice Kavanaugh gets strung through the mud and in front of the national spotlight over what he wrote down in a yearbook or whatnot.
In high school.
In high school. So we're going to go back. So that's what I'm saying. None of this, just absolutely none of it makes sense, except it does.
I mean, look at the Hunter Biden. If you want to look at the double standard, imagine if someone named Eric Trump or Donald Trump Jr. had 1/50th of the stories behind their name. The outcry from the media would be cacophonous. It would be 24/7 that Eric Trump, oh my God, look, Hunter Biden got kicked out of a hotel this week because of drug use and abusive staff and things of this nature.
Week?
I mean, just this week. Did you hear about it?
No.
It was a minor story.
Well, of course it's a minor story, Chad. That's what I'm saying. Of course I'm not going to hear about it. Where would I hear about it? Nobody's reporting it.
It's a luxurious hotel he got kicked out of. And I'm thinking, this is a guy who can actually go stay in the Lincoln bedroom in the White House. And he has got serious problems that are his own creation. He did have access to his dad in a very powerful way with all of this. And the media just acts like, oh, it's because it's Biden, it's okay. Even the way in which Biden's administration gets dressed down, it was an embarrassment when the ambassador met with the Chinese folks in Alaska, and they tried to lecture the Chinese about human rights and says, wait a minute, you guys are the ones crowing about how horrible your country is. Why don't you go fix all the stuff that you've talked about, how horrible America is, and then lecture us?
That's right.
And then this whole Russian meeting with Biden was an embarrassment, but I've seen people try to spin it to say, look how strong Biden looks. It looked like Vladimir Putin was walking a dog at this meeting.
Right.
I mean, and Biden's press conference was an utter disaster, and it lasted for less than half the time that Putin's did. Putin thought this was a great way to make America look weak, and he successfully pulled it off.
That's exactly
and we've got
right.
a president that apologizes for America.
Right, and then opens up their pipeline to make them an energy power.
It just gave them billions in new revenue. The Biden administration shut a pipeline down in our country, the Keystone, and went and allowed the Russians to start supplying Europe, and it's going to make billions of dollars flow into Russia. It's an unbelievably back-asswards way of being an administration.
Oh, we have the dumbest people at the helm. I don't care what anybody says. These people, either they're this dumb or they're anti-American. I don't see anything.
Ben, it was even dumber. But Ben, it was even dumber than that. Did you see that Biden said these places are off limit to you and your hackers? Which is, if I tell you that, if I say, okay, Ben, these things are off limits. If you had a kid and you told him that, then all these other things are okay to do.
Right.
So he didn't say quit messing with our country. He just said don't mess with these areas. And so the Russians were like, okay, we'll screw with all the other things you didn't say. It's just terrible.
It really is. It really
Grandpa
is.
Joe, man.
Well, I'm gonna get my sippy cup ready. For this evening. I just can't even. Chad, I don't get political on air very often, but it just stinks. I mean, I honestly, here's the thing. I don't feel like 81 million people voted for this. I honestly feel in my heart that these mail-in ballots were calculated and orchestrated. And you know what? If they investigate election fraud and they find nothing, that's fine. I just want to find 81 million people that voted for this administration. That's what I want to find.
And Ben, if you said that on several other outlets, and I'm talking about even conservative ones, you're not allowed to even have that opinion in public. Now, we allow that opinion on our station, but there are states, there's one in town that if you were to say what you just said on air, they have said they will cumulative. They have. Well, it's a written statement. You can go out and research it. They've said if you say things like that on there, it's grounds for removal.
Ooh.
If you say what you just said.
Ooh. Well, you know what? Here's what I say to all of them. Well, actually, I can't say it live on air, Chad, or you would remove me for that. But what here? I don't like all those rules anyway. So if you want to buck with me, buck against me on stuff like that, I buck back. I don't like that, and I'm just tired of us taking it laying down. I'm tired of us allowing. Well, let me ask you this, Chad. Why doesn't a conservative or a right-leaning person or even moderate that may have a conservative bone in their body, why don't we start buying media companies? Why does the left own Hollywood? Why does the left own all the media companies like ABC, NBC? ESPN is a total disaster, an ABC affiliate now. I mean, I can't even watch sports anymore. But my point is, why don't we start buying some of these things? If we're the rich ones, if we're the powerful elite,
allegedly,
shouldn't that
allegedly.
Right. But I'm saying, right. I mean, you get allegedly. Thank you. But
they don't. That's the problem. A lot of people on the right don't invest in that. They kind of think, they make the assumption. This is my whole life politically. Is they make the assumption that common sense is going to prevail. They don't. The people on the right that are in business and stuff. Wilmington's a really good example of that. Wilmington should be a conservative, shining beacon of leadership on the coast. But the business community in Wilmington doesn't seem to think that the city council matters that much, so they don't get behind conservative leadership that would make Wilmington. I mean, Leland's growing by leaps and bounds relative to Wilmington because Leland has a much more open way of looking at things. Wilmington's been held back for decades because the business community is like, well, it doesn't really affect us that much, but it does. And conservatives don't tend to invest in media thinking that, well, we're going to do just fine because that's just a small group of people, and they don't realize that shapes opinion. It shapes people's viewpoint, and you need to push the debate, and we need to have a balanced debate. Even reporters, a lot of people say, oh, those local stations are liberals. And it's not that they're liberals. It's that they're young. They're young reporters that don't know the depth to ask. And so when they see, affordable housing, they go, oh, see, we need to have more affordable housing. And it's not that the liberal reporters are liberal. Excuse me, I just made it sound like they all are. It's that they don't know the depths of it, and they don't know the cost to it, and who pays for it, and why that policy comes about. And really, what we really want to do is make people where they own their own homes, and we want to make society better for people. And so there's not a lot of balance. But you're right. They don't invest in conservative media outlets. Look at us. We're out there. There's a handful of people that are a part of it. But by and large, the business community kind of says, well, I don't know. They're not involved in that.
Well, because we get ostracized and we lose business, and we're afraid of our income going absolutely kaput because we work hard. That's one reason why. I can tell you why people feel that way. I mean, I talk to a lot of my friends personally. We all feel that same way. But enough is enough. Like, you can only push so far. I feel like I did 5 months into this administration. I feel like I did at the end of 2015 where I was ready, or at the beginning of 2015 where I was ready to fight and battle any way that I needed to to get a change made in this country. And I'm 5 months into this, and I'm already ready to do that. So for me, the time to be nice as conservatives, I mean, honestly, like we have been rolling over, oh, yeah, we're business, da-da-da. Yes, that's great and everything. But, I mean, I just want to see some people with some smart ideas get up there and do some great things. I think with, Carolina Beach, as an example, just increased their tax rate 26%. A couple days ago. You know what I mean? And then we've got taxes going up everywhere else. The county commissioners, didn't they vote, or it was a city council or county commissioners here that voted to increase their salary? I mean, isn't that nice?
Yeah.
Isn't that nice during a pandemic? But listen, let's not allocate any of that money we keep talking about to teachers, right? Teachers. Let's increase our salaries because we're public servants and we deserve it. So we can tell people that stand up with their back to us, speaking to the audience in front of them, we can tell them to leave our organization because they're not standing appropriately. I mean, it's a disgrace. It's a disgrace, Chad, and I'm over it.
Well, New Hanover County, 14% tax increase.
Well, isn't that nice?
And on top of the Carolina Beach, yeah.
Yeah,
so,
just what we needed.
Yeah, that's not good, especially when you can't get your economy back going. They should be more concerned about the economy getting going than increasing taxes, which is going to be. And you're a mortgage guy, so you know the effect that'll ultimately have. A year from now or a year and a half from now, it'll kind of depress things.
Well, folks better enjoy the interest rates where they are right now because with this inflation stuff, it's going to hit and rates are going to go through the roof as well as everything else, and that's already coming. Yep. It's already happening. So people can act like it's not and pretend it's not, but it is, and it's a reality. So get ready. So I don't know. Chad, I appreciate you letting me vent this morning and always providing an intellectual outlook, a very, very smart, intelligent outlook into what's going on. And I like how you always keep me on the rails, too. You're like the yin to the yang over here, Chad. You're like, no, Ben, yes, it's upsetting, but. And then I listen to your point, and I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah.
Well, we just need to remain hopeful. And you're right. The price of freedom is eternal vigilance. I didn't come up with that, but we have to be informed. We do have to fight back when it's necessary. And being informed is the greatest way to start fighting back. And we win on the intellectual arguments. The leftists think they're the intellectuals, but they're really not. They have one solution. The solution of the left is always more power for government and less personal freedom. And we win. When it breaks down to that on policy, we win. We just have to remember that.
Right. Chad, I'm 39 years old, and I remember when I was a kid, growing up as a teenager, I was anti-establishment. Anti this, anti that. I didn't like any of that stuff, right? I want to be a rebel. And I did all that. And I look now, 20 years later, whatever, 25, whatever, how many ever years. And I look back now and I think, well, I'm still anti-establishment because I don't want big government. I'm just anti-establishment in a conservative way. So all you posers out there that think big government is cool, listen, I was cool. I was an anti-establishment person back when from the old schools. And now you guys are saying you're anti-establishment, but you're supporting and feeding the beast each and every single day. You are the establishment. Yeah. You are the establishment. That's it. You want big government? That's what it is. Welcome. I personally don't. I want them out of my business. I want to be left alone. I just want you to go about your business, me go about mine, everybody be happy. Let's raise our families. Let's live a great life and just move on from all that. I'm exhausted with some of the stuff with all the stuff that's going on right now. That's why I turn the news off too. We'll define the news anymore, right? But I'll tell you what, I'm going to give everybody a $1 billion idea right now, okay? And I want you to know that I mentioned it to you first. So that way, if you develop something like this, I just want a small cut, okay? But if someone will start a big media organization, a news outlet that actually reported the news and left opinion out of it, it will go to the moon. I'm telling you. We need some actual news folks that are reporting the real story. And that, my friend, will be a $1 billion idea because people are longing for it. We want the truth on a world stage as well. I don't need your opinion. I don't need this or that. I just want to know, here's what happened. Here it is. Factual. Boom. There you go. Chad, I'm telling you, $1 billion idea.
There you go, Ben. Well, I appreciate it, man.
It's just
Keep up the good work.
It's called real news. Real news, Chad. That's what that's called.
Well, we're working on some things right now and excited about what's next for, in the chair that you're sitting in and the entire endeavor. So,
well, I'm going to keep pushing you along, pal. We need your voice. I know you're on the air several times a week, but we need you. We need you in a big way. So.
Well, thank you, Ben, and I appreciate that. It means a lot. And
all right.
The listeners have always been good to me. Take care, buddy.
Hey, Chad, you too, man. Have a great weekend. TK is about to lose it back here. He has got to take a commercial break.
I know. He's on breakless for 40 minutes.
I know, and he's been listening
to
you.
Take that profit break.
And he's been listening to you and I. So, he's.
Oh, gosh,
yeah,
TK.
I know. It's always he just fell out of his chair, actually. All right, I got to get him some coffee and Mountain Dew stat, Chad. Have a blessed day and a blessed weekend. Folks, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back on Mornings with Joe Catenacci, the Lim with Ben Takeover Edition, we'll be talking about this, that, and the other. Stay tuned. Hey, TK.
This is for those who always show they care, who told their kids everyone 12 and older is eligible for a COVID vaccine. Those who explain to their cousins that vaccines prevent nearly 100% of hospitalizations and deaths from COVID-19. This is for the ones protecting those they love. Thank you.
We can do this. Find vaccines near you at vaccines.gov, paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Hey, this is Matt Ham, co-founder of Uprint and the co-host of Wake Up Our Faith, every Saturday and Sunday right here on Wilmington's Big Talker. We invite you to join with our nonprofit movement by participating in the Portable Faith Community. This is a $10 a month tax-deductible contribution, and you get access to daily encouragement, resources, as well as our prayer community. You can go to wakeupmyfaith.com to get subscribed and learn more. That's wakeupmyfaith.com.
Folks, we all know ongoing road construction and traffic can weigh heavy on your vehicle. Since 2006, O'Leary's Automotive Repair has provided comprehensive repair services at affordable prices to get you back on the road in no time. Their ASE-certified technicians will help you find a cost-effective repair and maintenance alternatives. O'Leary's has multiple locations in the area in Hampstead, Leland, the Myrtle Grove area, Ogden, and Wrightsboro. O'Leary's Automotive Repair, a trusted, locally owned business since 2006.
Tune in on Friday mornings to hear The Construction Connection, a collaborative effort between Joe Catenacci with the Big Talker FM and Cameron Moore, the executive officer of the Wilmington Cape Fear Home Builders Association. You start the conversation and we bring you the answers as we take a regional, in-depth look at growth-related topics and issues centered around the residential and commercial development and building industry. The Construction Connection, Friday mornings on the Big Talker FM.
Hello, I'm Jeff Rivenbark with WWAY News. A tropical storm warning has been issued for parts of Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama as a potential tropical cyclone advances toward the northern Gulf Coast. The warning extends from intracoastal city Louisiana to the Alabama-Florida border. Forecasters at the National Hurricane Center say heavy rainfall and flooding will likely be the most significant hazard, with the storm reaching the coast later today. The United States has a new federal holiday, Juneteenth. President Joe Biden officially signing it into law, making Juneteenth our nation's 12th official federal holiday. Juneteenth commemorates the day when the last enslaved African Americans learned they were free. Confederate soldiers surrendered in April of 1865, but word didn't reach the last enslaved black people until June 19th, when Union soldiers brought the news to Galveston, Texas. The holiday goes into effect immediately, but since the 19th is tomorrow, most federal employees will observe the holiday today. Leland Town Council voting last night to annex a planned 90-acre housing community into the town. The proposed Demarest Park development is off Highway 17, right outside Leland town limits. That area is now part of the town. According to town documents, the plot of land will be split into 329 lots, with the first phase of construction including about 90 homes. And summer begins Sunday, but the summer heat has already arrived in the Cape Fear, and that could pose danger for pets. Here are some tips. Limit their playtime outside to the mornings or later in the evening when it's not quite as hot as the middle of the day. When they're playing, make sure there's lots of shade and cool water is close by for them to drink, and as with children, never leave pets in a hot car. June through August are the deadliest months for hot car deaths involving pets. For more on these stories, head over to WWAYTV3.com. I'm Jeff Rivenbark. Have a great day.
Happy Friday, everybody. I'm WWAY meteorologist Ramel Carpenter with your Storm Track 3 forecast. Well, today's going to be another quiet day across the Cape here as we close out the work week. If you're inland of the coast, temperatures are going to be jumping into the upper 80s and the low 90s, perhaps a few degrees above the average for this time of year. Mostly sunny skies and a nice beach day. The coastal areas will be topping off in the middle 80s, low-end risk for rip currents, and that'll be the case as we head into the first half of the weekend as well. But tonight, our temperatures only managed to fall down to the upper 60s and the low 70s. Get your full forecast on WWAY, WWAYTV3.com.
This news and weather is brought to you by Two Men and a Truck. For your free quote, go to twomenandatruck.com. twomenandatruck.com.
This is Mark Markley, your host of Recovering Hope. I hope you can tune in this and every Wednesday evening from 6 to 7 and Sunday mornings at 10 to listen to real stories of real hope to recover from drug addiction and how so many have turned tragedies into helping others to know there is hope. You can listen to podcasts of previous shows or contact me at recoveringhope.org.
Welcome back, everyone, to Mornings with Joe Catenacci. I'm your host, Ben Hawkins. And I don't know what's happening right now. Dun, dun, here we come, leading the cavalry charge. Charge! And we're back. Folks, if you're expecting to hear Joe Catenacci's wonderful voice this morning, unfortunately, that's not going to take place. Joe will be back Monday. Is that right, TK? We don't know. We don't know when Joe. We think. We don't know. I know I won't be here Monday.
You assume he's coming back.
I assume he is. Well, you know what? He may not. After knowing how wonderful this show has gone today, he may just turn the reins over and say, give up. He may tap out.
Well, he could have been picked up by, a UFO? AON News or whatever that is.
Well, I'm thinking it was a UFO maybe that picked him up. The UFOs, stories that have been breaking to distract us. Yeah, you haven't seen the UFO stories? Oh, TK.
I have a very high filter on my news.
Well, now this is a national news cycle.
Okay, that's like the first one that gets cut off.
Right. Well, it might as well be the National Enquirer now. I mean, that's who used to report on UFOs, and now national lamestream media is reporting on it. And, they're the National Enquirer. I mean, essentially, it's the way it kind of feels. Actually, it doesn't feel that way. It is that way. Yeah, TK. Well, we'll just tune all that out. Okay, you can tune out the UFO talk. You don't have to worry about it. If Joe's riding on one, maybe he'll pick us up. Yeah,
maybe.
Well, maybe. Okay, you know what? I've had it with TK today. I just hope he's in a much better place for the Lynn with Ben show tomorrow morning. More vibrant and excited and happy. I think I need that, TK. I'm going to need that tomorrow, okay? I'm going to need that vibrant.
I'll need more coffee.
Well, don't worry. I'm pretty certain you're going to get plenty of it, believe me. Folks, I want to give a quick shout-out to our great friends over at Just Move It Moving and Storage. Just Move It. When it's time to move out of your home or business, it's time to call Just Move It. Local or long distance, they have you covered. 910-795-7658 or visit their website at movingcompanywilmingtonnc.com. Our great friends over at Carolina Coast Cleaning Services. Carolina Coast Cleaning. Call them today for all your residential, commercial, COVID-19 sanitation services, and more. Carolina Coast Cleaning Services are family-owned and operated, and they even clean my personal residence. Call for a free quote today. 910-239-7560 or visit their website at carolinacoastcleaningnc.com. Abby Reese with North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Well, this one's for you. Whether it's home, auto, or even life insurance, fourth generation Farm Bureau agent Abby Reese has you covered. Call her today to check out all that Abby Reese with Farm Bureau Insurance has to offer. 336-707-3538 or email her at abby.reese@farmburo.com. at ncfbins.com.
If radio can't be fun, I don't want to do it.
I don't either. I love it. I just enjoy goofing around. I do. And when Joe asked me if I could come on and do the show one day this week, I thought, I can. Are you sure you want me to? We just like to have fun. And that's what we do on my show. Like my show that airs Saturday mornings from 9 to 10 a.m., Len with Ben show, live on 106.7. We cut up. Like we talk about mortgage and real estate, but we have on great guests, all the hottest guests. We've had on everybody you can think of, from political figures in local city government to the biggest developers, builders, realtors. I mean, everybody that is somebody has been on the Len with Ben show, I think. It's unbelievable. I love it. I love it. I love it. The good news is, folks, that we'll be on air tomorrow morning from 9 to 10. So you'll get to tune in and hear the other.
You will be on the air from 9 to 10.
Well, you will too, TK.
I will be asleep behind the board.
No, you won't.
I'm going to wind you up for an hour and let you go.
Oh, well, TK's going to take a nap. Well, that's what he likes. See, at least I'm easy. At least it's easy. Like, you don't, I mean, I just
Once
go.
the buttons are pushed,
That's it.
Yeah, you're free.
I'm freed. I am free. Yes. Free to not ever sing again live on air. That was awful. Well, okay, it's fine, TK. Just admit it. It's fine.
Keep in mind, there are 15 radio stations that have people singing worse than you do. So.
Oh, well, that's true.
You're fine.
All right, good. Yeah, that's good to know. I'm glad to hear that.
But we won't be featuring it as a centerpiece of a show.
You mean I can't make that into any background music or anything?
Background?
Yeah. We should play. I should sing 5 songs, okay? And then we should play them in the elevator you get stuck in on a regular basis. So that way you get to listen to it on loop when the elevator gets stuck again.
Oh, we could almost set it up like a prank.
Right.
By remote control, you hit a button, the elevator stops, and Ben Hawkins starts singing.
Oh, that would be amazing.
That'd be awesome. Oh, and then have a camera in there to get their reactions.
Yes. That would be amazing as long as I'm not trapped in the elevator listening to my own singing.
It'd be like bait car, but we call it bait elevator.
Yeah, bait Vader.
Bait Vader.
I like it.
Vader bait.
Yep, Vader bait. I like it. That's great. Yes, stuck in the elevator having to listen to me sing for an hour would be
But it would have to be things like Baby Shark.
Well, Baby Shark, yes. Luke would love that. I have a 4-year-old.
And Let It Go.
Let It Go, yes, Frozen.
Frozen, right?
Yeah, keep them coming. Definitely some... well, for my son, he would want to hear the kids' version of Old Town Road. He loves that.
Then you got to mix it up for the adults. You got to put some Rob Zombie in there, maybe.
No, I would... Well, if I was singing it, yes. Only with my vocals is what I'm saying. I would have to be the vocalist on the track in order for it to really get full effect, and for people to feel like they got their money's worth. It's true. TK, listen, you guys don't know this, but some of you do. TK is a musician, right? He plays basically every instrument known to man, but he specializes in bass, correct?
Bass guitar.
Well, right.
Bass and guitar.
Bass and guitar. So you've got that going. TK has asked me, and he didn't want me to announce it on air, but I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway. He asked me to actually become the lead singer of his group. And I've been thinking about it, TK. I'm going to have to pass on it just because honestly, if I get up there and start singing, you will be for sure having to tour, getting a record deal. It would be a whole lot, TK, that would distract us from what we're doing right now.
Do you hear that?
What?
The sound of my heart just breaking into a million pieces as you say that.
Listen, I just wanted to be transparent with everyone that, there was a desire and a need for me to come and join the band, and I've decided that, it's in all of our best interests because we'll be so popular. We'll have to tour the world. I'll never see my son. I can't do it.
I'm just going to have to call Henry Rollins back and see if he's still interested.
Well, you know what? Yeah, you're going to have to, or... Who's a really good singer?
That Dave Grohl guy, but he keeps breaking his leg.
Yeah, I'm thinking of...
I don't want to tour with a cast.
Well, I'm more of an opera-type singer anyway. I have an operatic voice.
Oh, we need leather then.
Yes, I've been... what was the famous tenor?
Pavarotti?
Pavarotti, thank you. I've been called the Pavarotti of my generation, and I don't know if that's true, But I mean, that's just how.
I think you were called the ravioli of your generation.
No, I ate all the ravioli for my generation. Is what I did. Unbelievable. See, no respect around here for my singing abilities.
Well, you ready for some news?
Oh yeah, let's play the news.
Yeah, we got some town hall news coming up.
Yeah, let's listen to Town Hall. Let's get our listeners a break and checking out all the latest news. Town Hall time. Whenever you're ready, TK.
Gotta find the right music.
I did say Town Hall time. We'll be back.
Keeping Southport informed. The Big Talker 106.7 FM WFBT, Carolina Beach.
Right now, our country feels divided, but there's a place where people are coming together.
I gotta tell you, I was nervous to talk to someone so different than me.
Me too, but I'm glad we are.
Love Has No Labels and One Small Step are helping people with different political views, beliefs, and life experiences come together through conversation, and it feels good.
Wow, your story is so...
Interesting?
Yeah.
When people actually sit down, talk, and listen to one another, they can break down boundaries and connect as human beings. At lovehasnolabels.com/onesmallstep, you can listen to amazing, life-changing conversations and find simple tools to start a conversation of your own.
I know one thing. This conversation gives me hope.
It gives me a lot of hope, too.
Take a step toward bringing our country and your community together by having the courage to start a conversation at lovehasnolabels.com/onesmallstep. A message from StoryCorps, Love Has No Labels, and the Ad Council.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. The northern Gulf Coast is bracing for what's expected to be a tropical storm when it sweeps in off the Gulf of Mexico late today. Louisiana Governor John Bel Edwards says torrential rain and flooding will likely be the most significant hazard.
The range of rainfall will be somewhere between 1 inch and 8 inches. Right now, the expectation is that the eastern side of the storm will have the most significant impacts.
The governor heard on Louisiana Public Broadcasting coastal Alabama could also be slammed by very heavy rains and gusty winds. New Orleans and Mobile included in a tropical storm warning. Well, there seems to be no limit to the amount of money congressional Democrats want to spend.
$6 trillion. That's the price tag on the massive infrastructure investment plan congressional Democrats are now crafting, even as negotiations on a smaller bipartisan package continue. The emerging Democratic plan includes lowering Medicare eligibility to age 60. Democrats also want to provide legal status for certain immigrants, including so-called dreamers. Aides not authorized to publicly discuss the private deliberations confirmed the emerging plan. Half of the $6 trillion would be paid for with proposed taxes on corporations and those earning more than $400,000. Meantime, the bipartisan negotiating group working on a nearly $1 trillion plan has grown to 21 senators, with 11 Republicans. Mike Gracia, Washington.
Extreme heat expected to stick around into the weekend across wide areas of the West. Temperatures running at least 20 degrees above average, in some cases even more. Got up to 118 in Phoenix yesterday, one of many places to see record high temperatures. On Wall Street, ahead of this morning's opening bell, stock futures are sharply lower. Dow futures down 292 points. NASDAQ futures 50 points lower. S&P futures down 25. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Mounds and mounds of fur. Our hairballs have hairballs.
Our cat Mama, she's 10 years old. She has dandruff and an oily coat.
I have 2 cats, Sweet Pea and Daisy. Daisy sheds like crazy.
If you love your pets as much as I do, you want to do what's best for them to live long, healthy, happy lives.
DINOVITE.com. I just tried this wonderful Catalicious Dynavite for cats, and my cat has been on it for 2 weeks. She is not scratching anymore. She's not chewing anymore. It is just the best.
I was thrilled when I heard Dynavite for cats was coming out because I had seen the changes in my dog. To introduce my cats to Dynavite, I took the advice from Dynavite and put their food on top of just a scoop in the bowl, just to get them used to it, because I know if I even switch one little thing, they put their nose up to it. There was not one problem.
Dynavite for life. You won't believe how happy your cat will be.
DINOVITE.com.
North Korea's dictator vows to be ready for confrontation with the U.S.
State media says Kim Jong-un has ordered his government to be prepared for both dialogue and confrontation with the Biden administration, but more for confrontation days after the U.S. and others urged the North to abandon its nuclear program and return to talks. Some experts say Kim's statement indicates he'll likely push to strengthen his nuclear arsenal and increase pressure on Washington to give up what North Korea considers a hostile policy toward the North, though he'll also prepare for talks to resume. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Iranians are voting in a presidential election that has a hardline protege of Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei poised to win. That's led to a low turnout fueled by apathy, along with calls for a boycott of the vote. News and analysis at townhall.com. They took up arms to defend their home, and now they're paying the price.
Patricia McCloskey pleading guilty to misdemeanor harassment. She was fined $2,000. Her husband, Mark McCloskey, pleaded guilty to misdemeanor fourth-degree assault. He was fined $750. They also agreed to forfeit both weapons they used when they confronted protesters in front of their home 1 year ago, saying the demonstrators were trespassing. Jason Walker reporting.
The cost of borrowing to buy a home, if you can find a house to buy, remains quite low. Freddie Mac says the average for the key 30-year home loan fell to 2.93% from 2.96% last week. By contrast, that rate stood at 3.13% 1 year ago. Again, on Wall Street this hour, the Dow futures down 285 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
The champ is here! The champ is here! The champ is here! The champ is here!
Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore. When the world seems to shine like you've had too much wine, that's amore.
Welcome back to Mornings with Joe Catenacci, live on 106.7 FM, the Big Talker Radio. I am your host, Ben Hawkins, the guest host today. Ben Hawkins, also host of the Lim with Ben show that airs every Saturday morning on 106.7 FM, the Big Talker, live from 9 to 10 a.m. Man, we have a good time. We have a lot of fun. We've had some fun on this show today. I hope you guys have been enjoying it. And Joe, if you're listening, we had a class to join up a little bit and help Joe out. You know, I mean, that's what we do. We're the people like you bring in, like, you know, you bring a cleaner in to clean a bar up, you know, and they, like Patrick Swayze in Roadhouse when he was fighting everybody. You bring me in for ratings. That's what you do. Like, I'm kind of like the pinch hitter, if you will, designated hitter, if you will. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Joe really just got desperate, I think, is what happened. And he asked me if I would fill in. And I said, sure, I'd love to. He said, are you sure you're okay with 3 hours? 3 hours? Ha. That's child's play. 3 hours. Well, folks, those of you that don't know me, I am the branch manager for Cross Country Mortgage in Wilmington. And from time to time, I get on the radio, do a radio show called The Lim with Ben Show every Saturday morning. We have a lot of fun talking all things mortgage and real estate. We have on the best guests, the top flight guests in the real estate profession that come on the show, some of our wonderful realtors. We love having you guys on to talk about the market, some amazing real estate attorneys. Just great folks that come on the Lim with Ben show. A lot of different business partners that have been on over the years, as well as people like Mayor Sappho have been on the show a time or two. So really glad that the show over the last 3 years has grown to the place that it has, and we're very grateful for each and every one of you guys for tuning in. I want to talk to you guys about something I know pretty doggone well, the subject. I know it pretty well, as I should. Mortgage rates shoot higher after Fed Chairman Powell's comments. So you're gonna have a mixed bag here, folks. We're gonna talk about this on the Lim with Ben show a little bit tomorrow. But you're having inflation that's coming and it's here. Those scares are going to drive rates up, and then the Fed announcement did not help either with mortgage interest rates. The average rate on the popular 30-year fixed rate mortgage moved decidedly higher Thursday, according to Mortgage News Daily. That is the highest. It's actually the highest point that it's been since mid-April, as far as the rates are concerned. The move was a reaction to comments made Wednesday by Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell following the central bank's meeting this week. Fed officials indicated the rate hikes could come in 2023, although they didn't mention when they would start scaling back their massive bond buying program. You can think of this meeting that we had as the talking about meeting, Powell said, recalling a statement he made in 2020 that the bank wasn't thinking about raising interest rates. Mortgage rates even moved higher Tuesday in anticipation of the Fed meeting. Mortgage rates do not follow the federal funds rate, which was unchanged Wednesday, but generally track the yield on the 10-year Treasury, which moved higher. Mortgage rates are also affected greatly by the amount of mortgage-backed bonds the Fed purchases. That's what caught some investors off guard and caused the bond yields and mortgage rates to move higher than expected. Markets were somewhat surprised by the Fed's rate hike outlook. Granted, the Fed funds rate doesn't control mortgage rates, but the outlook speaks to how quickly the Fed would need to dial back its bond buying programs, a.k.a. tapering. These programs definitely help keep rates low, noted Matthew Graham, Chief Operating Officer, so COO of Mortgage News Daily. The sooner the Fed starts to taper, the sooner mortgage rates move higher, as happened in the last so-called taper tantrum in June of 2013. Mortgage rates are now nearly 0.25 percentage point higher than they were last Friday, and about 0.25 percentage point higher than they were a year ago. While this may not sound like a lot, it is significant for those looking to save on their monthly payments through refinance. The general rule of thumb is that if you can't save at least 0.5 percentage point in your rate, like going from, say, example, 3.5% to 3%, then it's not worth the cost involved. In some cases, for higher loan amounts, that's true at 0.5 point. If you have like a $100,000 loan, 0.5 point in interest savings is not going to really move your needle that much on your monthly payment. So you really have to look at how long you have left in the amortization cycle of the loan. So if you did a 30-year loan, if you're 28 years into it, and you owe $100,000 and you can say 0.5 point in interest, I'm probably not going to recommend you do that. Just because the cost, pardon me, I had to stretch, I don't mind. Partly because the cost of the refinance would actually be more than what your savings would be for 10 or 12 years in some cases. So a general rule of thumb that I apply on my team is a 1 percentage point drop. Then it's really one of those things you want to look into as being worthwhile. But if you owe like $400,000 or $500,000 or higher, 0.5 point makes a big, big difference. So there's definitely variables there. I just don't want people to think that I'm saying if you can save 0.5 percentage point, you owe $100,000, $120,000 on your house, that it's a good idea to refinance, because it typically would not be, unless you were lowering the term, like from a 30 to a 15 or a 20, something along those lines. There's a lot of intangibles to it. So if you have questions, please feel free to give me a call. I'd be happy to discuss those options with you off the air. You can reach me at 910-352-3373. And I'd love to talk to you about it and see if it makes sense for you. Last fall, rates dropped dramatically. By February of this year, the average rate on a 30-year fix was right at 3%. That caused a refinance boom. February of this year, yes, right at 3%. Last year, February, we were looking at right in the 2.75, 2.625 area. That caused a refinance boom. Now, applications to refinance a home loan are 22% lower than they were a year ago. We were actually predicting 25 to 50%. Pardon me, 25 to 50% decrease on refinance applications and a 50% increase in purchases, which is what we're seeing right now. There are now far fewer borrowers who can benefit from a refinance, but there's still some out there. Sometimes folks want to get cash out to pay off some credit card debt, to pay off a car, to pay off whatever loan you may have outstanding. Some folks are getting cash out to eliminate their overall debt, and which in turn gives them more cash flow monthly through the savings. As for home buyers, given today's sky-high home prices, any move higher in rates is not only going to hit the monthly payment, but may make it harder to qualify for the loan. Folks, for every 1% that a rate goes up, you lose 10% of your buying power. Just know that. For every 1% a rate increases, you lose 10% of your buying power. For home buyers, this means it's a good idea to take a fresh look at your home shopping budget. Run the numbers and know what it means for your search price if rates tick up a quarter point. But keep those worries in context, said Danielle Hale, chief economist for Realtor.com. Even if mortgage rates rise, they are not in the biggest challenge for today's buyers, who are still contending with relatively few fast-selling home choices and record high asking prices. So with that being the case, guys, just know that rates have gone up a little bit this week. So if you call and get a quote and you hear a rate that's a little bit higher than what you were thinking, that is why. This is not fake news. That is real news in real time. TK, do we need to take a break? Okay. Well, you said 5 minutes. Has it been 5 minutes? I just want to know. I want to know how sharp I am on this.
Well, to be technical, you have 1 minute, 52 seconds.
Okay, well, in that case, let me go. No, I'm just kidding. Let's go ahead and take a break. We'll come back on Mornings with Joe Catenacci, guest hosted by Ben Hawkins. Good old Lynn with Ben.
Hi, Jim. Great to see you. You got a minute? I've always known you to be a ladies' man, a stud in the bedroom. I'm embarrassed to say that I need some help with my performance. I've lost my mojo, my confidence. Love to find something that satisfies the ladies. Any suggestions?
Thanks, man. Hey, I've got an idea. Why don't you ask your phone? She knows everything. I bet she'll know the best male enhancement pill out there.
Great idea. Hey, what's the best pill for a man's performance in the bedroom?
The #1 pill for a man's performance in the bedroom is Noxitrol. Noxitrol is a powerful male enhancement pill that is all natural and goes to work fast. Noxitrol customers say it's like Viagra on steroids, no prescription needed, and shipped discreetly to your door.
Wow, that's awesome. She always gives the best advice. I'm calling now. Noxitril has a special free bottle offer.
For a free bottle of Noxitril, call 800-230-2915. 800-230-2915. Free bottles for a limited time, so call now. 800-230-2915. 800-230-2915.
Hi, this is Justin Humphreys from the Humphreys Law Firm on Eastwood Road. The Humphreys Law Firm is located in Lumina Station, Wilmington, North Carolina. Practices civil litigation, intellectual property, commercial, and residential real estate. Please give us a call at 910-332-0721 or visit us on our website, which is www.humphreysfirm.law. You can also listen to me every Thursday from 6 to 7 p.m. on the Big Talker 106.7 FM.
Constructive Solutions is the name of my construction company. It's called Constructive Solutions because I focus on solving what it is my customers need and want, and there's always a way to get the job done. We're in our 25th year serving our community. We handle all types of home improvements and repairs, literally from your crawl space to your roof, as well as commercial alterations. We're a small, family-owned and operated business. My wife works in the office, and my son Dylan is my right and left-hand man. Combined, we have over 70 years of experience. Dylan and I face every project or challenge that comes our way. I learned my trade from my father, who was a builder until his eyesight failed him. I was showing some employees a picture of my father working on the second-story eaves of his home, and I said, "Can you believe he's 82 and up on a homemade scaffold?" They said, "He's 82? I replied, "Yes, and he's blind. Don't ever tell me it can't be done." So if you want quality professional service for your home or business, give us a call at 910-231-6020 or go to markmarkley.com.
Hey guys, what if I told you that your wedding day could be the happiest day of your life, even if it rained?
You sound like the weatherman.
Better, Jordan. I'm a jeweler with the most amazing guarantee in the diamond business. If you buy your diamond engagement ring from us at Perry's Emporium and it rains on your wedding day, your ring is absolutely free.
It's the Perry's Emporium Legendary Rainy Day Diamond Guarantee.
No other jeweler in Eastern North Carolina has a larger selection of loose diamonds, diamond engagement rings, and wedding bands than Perry's Emporium, all at the guaranteed lowest price. Perry's Emporium in beautiful Barclay Commons behind Henry's and on the web at perrysemporium.com.
We'll see you when you get here.
Acoustic wave therapy at the Frank Institute is a revolutionary treatment for inflammation, issues of blood flow, and is a solution for the constant suffering of chronic pain. Through the localized transmission of sound waves, stem cells are stimulated to bring about restored blood flow, vascular regeneration, and the disbursement of pain receptors to affected areas. If you've been told that your issues could not be treated without surgery or prescription, give us a call. Non-invasive, non-surgical, and prescription-free. Acoustic wave therapy is only available at the Frank Institute. Call today, 910-679-8534, and ask about acoustic wave therapy.
The Dave Ramsey Show, where common sense meets dollars and cents.
We live in a culture where we, the people, known as taxpayers, have allowed our elected representatives, who are apparently idiots, we elected them, so what's that make us? But anyway, to extend guaranteed loans. You and I are co-signers for 18-year-olds to take out a $100,000 loan to get a PhD in German polka history. Now, if that isn't stupid, I don't know what is. 5 from noon to 3 on the Big Talker, 106.7 FM.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Mornings with Joe Catenacci. I'm your guest host, Ben Hawkins. Also host the Lim with Ben show that airs every Saturday morning from 9 to 10 a.m. live on 106.7 FM, The Big Talker. And boy, are we having some fun around here today. This is actually the last hour that I get to guest host. And actually, this has flown by, TK. I don't understand. I mean, it's just... maybe some of you out there listening have just felt like it's dragged on, but I've been rocking and rolling. I've been having fun, and man, I'm thinking I should do this. I'm thinking that I just need to take the plunge and get into radio, and that's it, and just retire from everything else. No, don't think I can do that. Don't think I can do that. But guys, what I do want to talk to you about are some cool ways that old Lim with Ben over here can help you save money and get the best service in the world, especially when you call Just Move It Moving and Storage. When it's time to move out of your home or business, it's time to call Just Move It. Local or long distance, they have you covered. Call them today for a free quote at 910-795-7658 or visit their website at movingcompanyWilmingtonNC.com. Also, our great friend Abby Reese with Farm Bureau Insurance. Whether it's home, auto, or even life insurance, fourth-generation Farm Bureau agent Abby Reese has you covered. Call her today to check out all that Abby Reese of Farm Bureau Insurance has to offer, 336-707-3538, or email her at abby.reese@ncfbins.com. Also, our wonderful friends over at Carolina Coast Cleaning Services. Call Carolina Coast Cleaning Services today for all your residential, commercial, and COVID sanitation services, and much, much more. Carolina Coast Cleaning Services are family-owned and operated, and even clean my personal home. Those poor people. Call for a free quote today, 910-239-7560, or visit their website at carolinacoastcleaningnc.com. See, whenever I do the live reads, let's do it, TK, okay? Let's do the live read. Hang on, but wait. I want you to interject it at some point. I want our audience to see what takes over my body, okay? It takes over my speech and everything. It's bad. Just move it. When it's time, and this is how I normally read. Just move it. When it's time to move out of your home or business. Oh, wait. It's time to call Just Move It. See, I change in the middle of it. I can't differentiate, TK. So let's start it out, okay? So this is how I normally do a live read. Whether it's home or auto, or even life insurance, fourth generation Farm Bureau agent Abby Reese has you covered. Call her today to check out all that Abby Reese with Farm Bureau Insurance has to offer. 336-707-3538. I can't help it. I have to talk like this whenever that music comes on. It's very soothing. I mean, I can't, now I can talk regular. I can't talk regular when that music comes on. I have to go, I go to this place, TK, like we were talking about, the chakras and the whatever-ras and all that stuff. I don't know what's happening right now. But I know that beautiful instrumental is helping me get centered into today. Which, guys, I know I'm guest hosting, right? And you all weren't expecting this at all. But I have a special guest with us here this morning. Mr. Joe Catenacci himself. Here he is. Here he is. Hey, Joe. Hey, Ben, what you doing? How you doing, Ben? What's going on, Ben? Joe, I'm doing great, pal. Listen, I just, I've been hosting the show. Things are going great. How's your vacation going? Well, Ben, I can't do a Joe voice. I can't do Joe's voice. Wait a minute. Hold on. Yeah. Well, there we go. More songs. So, Joe, let me get back to the point here. Joe, tell me about your vacation. How are things going? What's happening? Well, Ben, the vacation's going great. Me and the wife, we're eating some good spaghetti and meatballs, and we're going out and we're on the beach, and the kids are playing, and we're just having a great time, and it's just fantastic. Well, Joe, that's really good to hear. I'm so excited for you and your family. A much-needed break. Joe, talk to us about the weather down there.
I get up in the morning and look at Jill and say, where the hell are we?
Joe, wait a minute. There was another Joe that just came on the show. What happened here?
I keep forgetting I'm president.
Well, me too. But I wake up every morning and realize I'm living in a nightmare.
You can whiz on my leg, but don't tell me it's raining.
That's right, Ron. You tell him. Joe, what do you think about that? Well, it's this, that, and the other, and then...
I love those barrettes in her hair, man. I tell you what. Look at her. She looks like she's 19 years old, sitting there with her, like a little lady with her legs crossed.
Wrong, Joe. Joe Biden, please. Let Joe Catenacci answer the question. President Biden, please. Just let Joe Catenacci answer, okay?
The data shows.
No, Joe. No, Joe. Come on, man.
Just want to thank you both, and I want to thank the former general. I keep calling him general, but the guy who runs that outfit over there.
Right, the guy.
I want to make sure we thank the secretary for all he's done to try to implement what we've just talked about.
President Biden, please. I'm trying to interview Joe Catenacci's picture right now.
It's a dumpster fire.
Well, it is. Listen. This is out of control. This is absolutely out of control. Joe Catenacci, not President Biden. But where does this guy keep coming from?
Joe, pay attention.
I'm trying. Joe Catenacci, I'm so sorry. President Biden keeps interrupting. I didn't realize I'd be interviewing the 46th president of the United States today.
I also noticed you changed a term in your budget work. You shifted from using the term mother to birthing people.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I don't know who that was, though. That wasn't DeSantis. Yeah, I don't know who that was. See, people keep calling in, and TK is allowing things to erupt here. It's getting out of control. I can't take it anymore. I've got to get this together. It's got to happen. All right, Joe Catenacci, here in spirit. I've tried interviewing his picture. His picture's talking to me. But then President Biden interrupts. It's just been an absolute disaster, a total debacle. I don't know what to say. Joe Catenacci, tell me about the ratings battle that you have with me. Tell me how it makes you feel knowing that I absolutely decimate and destroy by leaps and bounds the morning show with the Lim with Ben show. Joe Catenacci, tell me about that. Well, Ben, it's like this. It's this, that, and then that's it. That's it. Okay. Well, Joe, thank you for your time. I appreciate you answering that for me. All of our listeners know where you stand now. It's perfect. And thank you for President Biden and Ron DeSantis for stopping by during that interview, too. Even though you interrupted, that was still very high-quality commentary. So, anyway, Joe, your picture is going to stay right here next to me for all of our wonderful Facebook viewers to be able to look at. And the picture actually has a microphone next to Joe's mouth. So those of you that are missing him and have been missing him all week, just know he's here. Now, TK, you've been producing the show all week, correct? Has anyone done what I just did with Joe's picture? Has anyone done that?
Most of the hosts actually have respect.
Oh. Well, that's, shame on them.
But that's why I'm here today. This made it all worthwhile.
Shame on them. Shame on them. Those other hosts showing respect. How dare they?
Well, one of them even did it as a foreigner.
Listen, this is actually respectful. This is like
an homage.
Look, it is an homage. He's got the headphones on. He's got the microphone there. His smiling
I wanted
face.
him to be recognizable to other people.
Well,
you hardly ever see Joe without the accoutrement.
Well, he's shaved in this picture and he has a haircut. So there's two things right there that are out of the norm in this. I think what Joe should do is go in that other room with the microphone and then have that picture up here for the camera to look at. What do you think?
I think we should use one of those iPhone animated emojis.
Yes.
But we should do the one that's the elephant with the long nose.
Right. We should.
Because he's a Republican, right?
Who?
Joe.
Joe is? I don't know.
And
hey, I
can't
speak for Joe.
Is represented by the big elephant with the trunk.
Let's ask Joe. Joe, are you? Well, I don't know. Okay, Joe, forget it. I wish I could do a Joe Catenacci impersonation. I will be able to one of these days. I wish he had an easier voice to impersonate. It'd be a lot of fun.
Your voices come out like they're The Simpsons.
Ours do.
Yours do. It's pretty humorous.
Yeah, but I can't do one for Joe. So, I had this whole interview set up, and President Joe Biden started interrupting the wrong Joe. And I'm you know what, Mr. Biden, I'm kind of upset right now with your shenanigans. You know.
I get up in the morning and look at Jill and say, where the hell are we?
I wake up every morning and wonder the same thing. Where the hell am I? I have no idea. And I love admitting that on the open stage.
It's a dumpster fire.
It is. It's so bad. It's so bad. It really is. But thank you, President Biden, for your time this morning. Joe Catenacci, I'm sorry that he interrupted our interview, but he is the President of the United States, okay? I can't help it. I'll tell you what we're going to do next time, TK, that I guest host a show for Joe. You and I are going to loop some of his commentary so that way I can have him on there. And we could just take excerpts. I wish I would have planned this. This would have been brilliant. But instead, it's turned into this.
This is not his last vacation.
No, it's not.
So we have a couple of months to design the next one. We should go ahead and take the news break while we plan out the last half hour.
Well, I don't know. I think we need to get organized, TK. I think we definitely need to do that. We can come up with something cool. Maybe we could dedicate a Lynn with Ben show to that. You're going to want extra money, though. For
$50.
Yeah. Okay. Actually, it would be worth $50 to me to have some fun at Joe's expense. I would love that. Oh, my God. Take my money. How about 60? Can we make that happen?
Do I hear 75?
Yeah, sold. 100. Please. Anything.
I think I just found my new job.
I think TK has got a new career. It's going to be to loop Joe's voice into our interview next time. This is going to be amazing. I can't wait. See, we have figured something out, TK. This will be radio gold.
And both of us are going to be looking for a radio station.
Well,
next
that's
week.
okay. Who says I'm not already? I get calls every day. Look, I get calls all the time. Ben, your show is so popular, so wild. I would love to have you on. No, I'm loyal to 106.7 FM.
Yeah, we got to find a radio station that has no rails. Because as long as we're off the rails.
Yes.
Well, I tell you what, I'm going to take 3 minutes so that our friends over at WAY can give us some news.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was typing an email. Were you saying something? Did you need something? Are we live on air? Right. Oh. Anyway, guys, we'll be back in a few minutes. Stay tuned. We'll have some fun.
Hello, I'm Jeff Rivenbark with WWAY News. A tropical storm warning has been issued for parts of Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama as a potential tropical cyclone advances toward the northern Gulf Coast. The warning extends from intracoastal city Louisiana to the Alabama-Florida border. Forecasters at the National Hurricane Center say heavy rainfall and flooding will likely be the most significant hazard, with the storm reaching the coast later today. The United States has a new federal holiday, Juneteenth. President Joe Biden officially signing it into law, making Juneteenth our nation's 12th official federal holiday. Juneteenth commemorates the day when the last enslaved African Americans learned they were free. Confederate soldiers surrendered in April of 1865, but word didn't reach the last enslaved black people until June 19th, when Union soldiers brought the news to Galveston, Texas. The holiday goes into effect immediately, but since the 19th is tomorrow, most federal employees will observe the holiday today. Leland Town Council voting last night to annex a planned 90-acre housing community into the town. The proposed Demarest Park development is off Highway 17 right outside Leland Town limits. That area is now part of the town. According to town documents, the plot of land will be split into 329 lots, with the first phase of construction including about 90 homes. And summer begins Sunday, but the summer heat has already arrived in the Cape Fear, and that could pose danger for pets. Here are some tips. Limit their playtime outside to the mornings or later in the evening when it's not quite as hot as the middle of the day. When they're playing, make sure there's lots of shade and cool water is close by for them to drink. And as with children, never leave pets in a hot car. June through August are the deadliest months for hot car deaths involving pets. For more on these stories, head over to WWAYTV3.com. I'm Jeff Rivenbark. Have a great day.
Happy Friday, everybody. I'm WWAY meteorologist Ramel Carpenter with your Storm Track 3 forecast. Well, today's going to be another quiet day across the Cape Fear as we close out the work week. If you're inland of the coast, temperatures are going to be jumping into the upper 80s and the low 90s, perhaps a few degrees above the average for this time of year. Mostly sunny skies and a nice beach day. The coastal areas will be topping off in the middle 80s, low-end risk for rip currents, and that'll be the case as we head into the first half of the weekend as well. But tonight, our temperatures only managed to fall down to the upper 60s and the low 70s. Get your full forecast on WWAY, WWAYTV3.com.
This news and weather is brought to you by Two Men and a Truck. For your free quote, go to twomenandatruck.com. twomenandatruck.com.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Mornings with Joe Catenacci. That certainly hasn't been boring this morning, in my opinion, anyway. I'm your guest host, Ben Hawkins. I'm the branch manager of Cross Country Mortgage and also the host of the Len with Ben show that airs every Saturday morning from 9 to 10 a.m. And as you can see, in memory of Joe's absence, we have placed a display for you to pay homage to Joe. And before I tried to interview him, and the picture didn't want to talk back, so I tried to improvise, and I got to work on my Joe voice, so I kind of ended that quickly. President Biden, I couldn't get a word in anyway because President Biden kept interrupting. It was just really unfortunate.
I get up in the morning, look at Jill, and say, "Where the hell are we?"
Here we go again. Joe, I know. You've told me that 4 times. I get it, okay? I get it. Anyway, gang, having a little fun this morning. Joe typically talks about serious issues in the community, things like that, and I do too in some cases on the Len with Ben show. I also believe that, you know what, if you're going to do this, you ought to have fun. Doing a 3-hour show is not easy every day, and I honestly don't know how folks do it without content writers. I would hate to have to. Well, I guess if you were doing it as a full-time job, I could see how you may have time to do it. But if you try to juggle other things and do the things we do on the side and our careers, it makes it difficult. So thank you guys for allowing us to have some fun this morning. Hope you've been entertained. I know it's been more entertaining than a regular morning with Joe Catenacci show would be. I can tell you that. Hey, TK, let me ask you a question. How did the show go? How did Joe's show go earlier in the week? Well, I didn't get a chance to tune in. I was out of town. How did it go? What went on?
So Wednesday was produced by Yael Asowski.
Produced or
completely?
Oh wow!
So all I had to do was fit his segments into our clock, and his show was very informative. He interviewed a number of our local hosts, including Lillian and who else? I can't. But anyway, he had a number of good interviews and segments. He had David Clement from the Consumer Choice Center. Then yesterday we had Andrew Donaldson come up from the Ordinary Times magazine, a very well-read and very good writer. I mean, his use of the English language and his vocabulary is quite expansive, and his ability to use it is deadly. Right. He's good with the English language. And then today, We just let CSX roll right off the rails and into the ditch. And it's been, they've all been informative. They've all been fun. We had Chad Adams this morning, who was quite animated for nearly an hour. You guys hit that off pretty well.
Right. Well, Chad, what I do is I go on my tirade, and then Chad brings it back home. So I start to talk as the concerned citizen, and Chad is kind of like, well, okay, I got you, but let's be devil's advocate.
He's like course correction.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think I would love to see Chad get back on air a little bit more. I think he's missed, and Chad knows how I feel about that. And that's.
I've been trying to get Chad to do some remote, like show up at your neighborhood donut shop or your favorite bait and tackle shop, or maybe even at a jewelry store, like Southside Jewelers in Southport, and do a live production from there. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Get out in the community, get people involved.
Right. Well, the great thing is we've got a great collection of people that come together to do different shows locally here at 106.7 FM. So it's cool when Joe does take a break, that everybody gets a chance to spotlight, during his time, 3 hours a day, right? Gets to spotlight what they're doing, bring on some guests if they're choosing. It's kind of cool how that works. It's from where it started 3 years ago, a little over 3 years ago, to where it is now. It's crazy. Like the amount of shows they have on here and everything else.
We have a number of local programs. A lot of them run on Saturdays and Sundays. And every weekday from 6 to 7, Monday is our Signal Fire. Rob Renz, Matt Milot, and Evan Anderson, I think is his last name. I'm probably going to get a text to correct me here in a moment. But those guys do a show Monday night. Their replay is on Sunday. Not the one we took away from you. The one we took away from you is on Tuesday night.
Right.
That's All Things Brunswick with Bill Moore and Joseph Hunting.
And that comes on at 6, between 6 and 7,
They're all 6
right?
and 7, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Because Tuesday we have All Things Brunswick. Wednesday we have our friend Mark Markley helping the community through his program called Recovering Hope, to give hope to those who may not feel like they got some right now.
Right.
And Thursday night we have your friend, Justin Humphreys, who gave us a great dissertation yesterday in...
So he was live yesterday.
He was live.
Well, it's a bad thing on time.
The entire ACA, man, the ruling of the Supreme Court yesterday on the ACA.
Yeah.
He laid that out, man. I mean, he broke down the 3 previous cases, what they meant, and what yesterday's decision and opinion was about.
Right.
That was pretty fierce.
Wow, I needed to tune in for that.
And then we got, you should have. And then
I can still do it.
You still can. You can go to the Facebook page of both his page and ours.
Right.
And get it. Saturday mornings we have the clown show in the morning, and then we have Lillian B.
You meant that's Monday through Friday, the clown show, from 7 to 10.
That's Saturday.
No, I've had it with you. I'm out of here. I'm just going to leave you here for 20 minutes, and you can do this. But with Joe's picture right here. Isn't this, listen, Joe Catenacci, I know you just texted me a little while ago. I know you're listening probably.
He's probably incredibly disappointed in us today.
I mean, but look at this guy. Look at him. I mean, isn't that just sweet? His poster.
I know you're trying to get kudo points back.
No, I mean, really though, but look, isn't this just nice? Like what I want to do is take a Sharpie and draw a mustache and like a triangle type goatee. Yes, just like the business card up there. Yes.
I don't know who did this, but it's something fun to look at.
Oh, I love it. I actually want to do that now, right this second, actually, on his poster. But, oh, yes, we have it. We have it. Oh, TK, don't tempt me, TK. I will straight come back there with that Sharpie. Look, but no. I got to commend Joe for what he's doing. In all honesty, he gets a lot of information out there. There's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of moving parts in local government that we don't hear about. And also, too, when you have biased news agencies that are reporting things one way and not giving the whole ball of wax, that's a problem. So thanks, Joe, for at least sticking up for us out here, man, to try to drive home what's really going on. And I like that. The only thing I don't like, Joe, is the fact that you tried to bury me ratings-wise, and you just, you tortured yourself. what I did was come in 3 years ago, and I took the Lynn with Ben show to heights that even Howard Stern and Rush Limbaugh have never seen. I mean, I have been – they're talking about giving me a Congressional Medal of Honor, actually. I don't know what I'm talking about.
And you did it all without litigation.
Yeah.
Didn't Howard Stern have to go to court?
Well, here's what they did. They told me they would give me a Congressional Medal of Honor if I stopped getting on the radio. That was the stipulation. I couldn't be on radio anymore. So it wasn't because I did great things on radio. It was to get me out of here. Yeah, that's what happened.
We used to do that at some of our shows in my earlier bands. It was free to get in, but cost you $20 to leave.
Right. Well, there you have it. I don't know. I don't know what's happening right now, actually. All right, cool. Well, let's take a quick break. I do know that needs to happen. We'll come back. We'll round out the show and talk about some cool stuff. Stay tuned.
Do you or someone you love suffer from back pain, poor circulation, or struggle to get a good night's sleep? Do you just need help getting into or out of your chair? US Med Express is Wilmington's leading supplier of Golden Technology lift and sleep chairs, carrying a variety of models in our showroom at 1733 Dawson Street. Our chairs lead the industry in power lift recliner features and advances in technology. Our chairs are FDA certified as medical devices, which means it's 100% tax deductible and helps with a number of medical conditions, including arthritis, poor circulation, and sleep apnea. Give us a call today at 910-500-6162 or stop by and experience our chairs for yourself at 1733 Dawson Street. That's 910-500-6162. 1733 Dawson Street in Wilmington. US Med Express.
I'm K.O. Davis from K.O.'s Coast to Coast Tree, and I want to be your tree man.
When your trees need cut, 2 letters to know. One is a K, the other is an O. K.O.
Tree man.
Proper trimming is the most important thing that you can do, so don't just hire anybody to do it. You need someone that knows what they're doing.
K.O.
Call the professionals at K.O.'s Coast to Coast Tree and visit KOTrees.com.
One Love Tennis started in 2013 to give back to young boys and girls. We now go through 460 kids a week that are learning about life skills, learning to succeed in life through academics and tennis. Putting those two together, if you do them well, you can write your own ticket. To get involved in this program, go to our website, one-love-tennis.org.
Here, Tom Goolsby on the Joe Catenacci Show.
People with common sense know that the entire theory of socialism is one big lie.
The Big Talker 106.7 FM.
Teachers and parents, the North Carolina Symphony is here to support you as you carry on the education of your children and students. Take your kids on a free virtual field trip to the Symphony with a virtual education concert and companion student book. Go on a virtual journey to learn what makes music music with music by William Grant Still, Beethoven, Brahms, and more. Access the free video and student book with password 1932 at ncsymphony.org/virtual.
Hey, this is Matt Ham, co-founder of Uprint Faith and Personal Development. Join us for Wake Up Our Faith, a real conversation about living out your faith between Sundays, streaming live every Wednesday at 11 a.m. on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Catch the replay every Saturday and Sunday at 8 a.m. on Wilmington's Big Talker 106.7 FM. Stop by and visit us on the web at uprint.life.
Welcome back, everybody, to Mornings with Joe Catenacci. I'm your guest host, Ben Hawkins. Been a pleasure to be hanging out with you guys all morning. The last 2 hours and 49 minutes. It's been a blast. And as you can see, if you're watching on Facebook, we have a We have our good friend Joe Catenacci next to us here in spirit. This is like his tribute. He's got a microphone here. I like this Joe better than I do the real one. This Joe's a lot easier to get along with, and it doesn't talk back.
Our own effigy.
Yes. Joe, so I feel like I want to interview this picture right now, but I can't do his voice right. I'm going to come up with a good way to do it, but I just got to figure that out. Folks, wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about, we went over mortgage stuff. We go over mortgage every Saturday morning from 9 to 10 a.m. Talk all things mortgage and real estate, things like that. A couple segments ago, we talked about mortgage rates have gone up this week since Tuesday when Chairman Bernanke gave some commentary about rates and this, that, and the other. They're unchanging the Fed rate, but inflation and everything else is going to be driving mortgage interest rates up, it appears. It just is what it is at this point. We've all got to hunker down and figure out what's going to happen. I'm hoping the economy can get back on track a little bit better, to where inflation fears, pardon me, can be subsided. I think the big thing too that you have to look at with inflation, also, cost of goods going up. We've got to get those cost of goods down. I think lumber actually fell back down this week a little bit, so that's going to be some big relief for home builders in the area, things of that nature. I'm really glad that is the case. That some of these things are starting to come back down. Gas sure isn't, but just be ready, folks. Be ready. The thing that gets me, we talk about, raising the federal minimum wage, raising wages. What is the point in raising wages when the cost of everything else goes up? How about raise wages then if you're going to do that and don't have the cost of everything else drive up? It's totally counterintuitive. I'm fine if somebody wants to get paid more. Go. That's fine. If an employer wants to pay somebody a certain amount, pay them. But if the cost of goods and everything else, the cost of living keeps going up, what have you really accomplished? Why? To me, it sounds like a tax grab. Way to get more taxes. That's what they live for. That's how the government operates. It is a business. I don't know. I'm over it. Absolutely over it. What I'm not over, though, is the opportunity for you to purchase or refinance your dream home. If you are interested in saving money through a cash-out refinance, maybe paying off some debt, some credit card debt, things of that nature, be happy to talk to you about it. Also, purchases, we'd love to help you purchase your next home. I think that a lot of folks that listen to this station are like-minded in many ways, and we all need to do business with each other. So if you have a business out there that we can help support and get mentioned on the radio, let me know. I'd be happy to mention you on my show or anytime I get the opportunity to guest host Joe's show. So anyway, there's a lot of great things going on, in the market. There's really not so much low inventory as it is there's inventory. It just goes off the market in 24 hours. That's the biggest thing. And our good buddy Paul Alsop with Caldwell Banker Caldwell Banker Realty, Seacoast Advantage. He came on my show a few weeks ago to talk about that. So pretty interesting stuff. I'm tired. 3 hours of radio is fun, but now the last 10 minutes, I'm like, all right, I got to go. My phone's blowing up. I got situations I need to deal with at work. There's a lot of things going on, but we're here to please. So what's up, TK? What you got?
I do have a question if you have a moment.
What's up?
It's about your boat.
Go.
So are you considered a captain?
I am the captain. Look at me. I am the captain now.
So you can do on July 4th when they go from Masonboro. They have that little party on Masonboro Island, and they have captains ferrying people from shore to the island and back.
See, I'm not doing that because
But you could.
I could, yes.
Is there a special requirement or?
I don't know. I know nothing about that. I would just think you're just picking people up.
I used to be the ramp supervisor for the sheriff's department for the Masonboro July 4th party.
Oh, that was the year that everybody sunk their boats and their trucks in the water.
Oh, and the drunk people were falling over and the kids were poisoning themselves.
Yes, and TK was out there just.
I was managing the ramp.
He was orchestrating mass hysteria, is what he was doing.
And I was wondering, if you were to do that, apparently these kids can make some pretty good money. But I didn't know if there was special training or a license or a certification or.
No, I mean for boating, I think you have to have a valid driver's license and everything. I do know that much, but I think it's important for folks to take a boater safety course, but it's not required. I mean, just don't go out there.
Oh, that's scary.
It really is. It really is.
It's required in New Mexico, but we only have puddles and ponds. We don't have an ocean.
You mean to tell me there's boat licensing requirements in New Mexico? In the desert?
Yeah, because we know all 16 people.
Right. I don't know.
In all 4 lakes.
Well, I mean, it's advised. Like, you can do Coast Guard classes here. You can do all that kind of thing. But, like, you just have to have a valid driver's license. The thing about boating is this. When you get started, yes, it's easy to go, you think, oh, this will be cake. I'm going a straight line in the intercoastal. Problem is you got to watch out for a lot of sandbars, high tide, low tide. You also have to know how to park your boat. And really, the only way to really do it is to get out there with people that know what they're doing, but also, too, to just try it and just get used to it. It really, it's like riding a bike. You have to get in there and actually do it to get acclimated. So
a boat can really only make a person happy on 2 days. The day they buy it and the day they sell it.
No, I'm happy with it when it runs. My boat broke down one time, and I've been very lucky over 4 years. It broke down one time, but it was the worst timing in the world. I had one of my top realtors on the boat with his family. I also had my boss in town with his family. There's a 12-week-old baby on the boat. We were going out for a cruise, and the gas, something with the fuel, something on the fuel thing cracked. So I forget what it was called, but anyway, it was some type of a clamp or whatever cracked, and therefore I got no gas to my boat. So it was
paddling back to land.
It was an absolute disaster. Luckily, I have Sea Tow. I pay for an annual membership to them because it's worth it. If you have one tow, it's like $800. It's like $800. The annual amount for them, I think, is just a few $100, whatever, a couple $100. It's worth every penny. But I had to use Sea Tow, and they towed us back on Labor Day weekend. It was when it was.
Oh man!
Or Memorial Day weekend. I'm sorry. Yeah, Memorial Day weekend.
But it was still crowded. You had to maneuver your way.
It was crazy. It was crazy crowded, and everybody's watching me do the ride of shame back with a rope tied to my boat. It's horrible. And I got my boss and these realtors on there.
A boatload of people.
Right. My kids, Mandy, everybody was like, it was just an absolute disaster. And everybody's like, oh, it's okay. It's not so bad. Finally, I blew up, and I was like, don't tell me it's not so bad. My boss is in town. My boat breaks down. One of my top agents is here with us and his family, and my boat breaks down. This could not have been a worst case scenario. Why couldn't it have done that to me when I'm out there by myself? One of the million times I've done that.
Now, are you still friends with anybody that were on the boat that day?
Well, they pretend to be. I'm sure that at least they make me feel good about it. But my gosh.
So your son is the only one who actually talks to you from that day?
Well, yes. Yes, actually, everybody hates me now.
So having a boat, it's imperative that it's in good working order before you take people out.
Well, the thing was, okay, so I had an issue with it, and so I thought I got it fixed. Like the guy came out and said, "I got you covered. You're good to go." I even paid him extra to have my boat ready that day. Paid him extra to do it
before you went out.
Right. And then it didn't come back. But to his credit, he fixed it though. After I texted him that next day, I'm like, dude, I just had to tow my boat in. And he's like, I'm on it. I got you. So he found out what was wrong. But sometimes with boats, you have to, you repair something and then you drive it a little bit and something else breaks and then you get to the real problem. It's like a series. It's like a culmination of it's like dominoes. One thing happens and leads to something else, to something else, to something else. So it is what it is. But boating is very fun. It's one of the best things and my favorite things about living in coastal North Carolina on any coast is to be able to go out and boat and have a good time. I absolutely love it. Trying to figure out a way to get out of going to some of these birthday parties on Saturday for the kids to go. I'm screwed. It looks like I'm going to be at the birthday parties.
You can't have the birthday parties on your boat and sort of blend?
Dude, I would love, honestly, that's the best idea I've ever heard, but I don't, it's a little
well, that's
too late.
Me. I always have great ideas.
You know something that we are doing, speaking of cool ideas, Tom Gale, you remember Tom that comes on the Lemon Ben Show?
Yeah.
So Tom is the president of the Cape Fear Realtors Association, and Tom called, and they are putting together an event where there's going to be like 50 or 60 realtors that are going to be going out fishing for the day, and like an event, and then have a way off at dockside and everything afterwards. So he asked if we could use my boat, and I also got him another one. One of our other loan officers, John Sweeney, just bought one. So we got 2 cross-country boats representing in whatever this event's going to be, or whatever it's called. I don't know the name of it yet, but it's in late August, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm going to need some scuba gear.
I'm going to need just the day completely on the boat, man.
I'm going to swim underneath all those little fishing lines and just clip them.
Well, TK, that would actually be
It would add some...
It would add some excitement.
Excitement to the deal. Like everybody thinks they caught a shark when they pull up their line and there's nothing there.
Yeah.
I'm going to yank on it real hard like a 200-pound orca.
Right.
And then snip that line and watch them pull up, fall over.
Well, I mean, it can happen, TK. If you will it to happen, it will. I will support you in your endeavors to mess up the fish.
Now, you going to have H3 there?
H3 should probably be there. Yeah, he should be there. I guess he will. I don't know what's going on. I have no idea. I really don't know. Anyway, guys, I think we've got 1 minute left. Is that right? Yeah.
1, 2, whatever.
Well, we're going to say 1 because I'm out of here. Guys, I think it's
Is your phone still blowing up?
It is. But of course it is. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. My phone starts at 7. And everybody's like, where are you? What's going on? Well, tune into 106.7 and you would know where I am.
Or to the Big Talker app.
Right, at the Big Talker app. That's right. Or Facebook even.
Or the Big Talker webpage.
That's right. Folks, I just want to thank each and every one of you guys. We had a lot of fun today. Hopefully it wasn't too excruciating for you. If it was, I really don't care. But I kind of do. No, I do. No, just joking. No, we had a great time. Joe, I'm over here looking at your picture. You still owe me spaghetti and meatballs from a year ago. Joe is the worst. Look, it took me 2 years to collect his first spaghetti and meatball bet that he lost with NC State. And then he bet me again, and he lost that. And it's been literally before COVID. It was 6 months before COVID hit. So it's been 2 years. It's been 2 years. Joe, I want my spaghetti and meatballs once and for all. I've had it.
It's just going to be a can of Chef Boyardee.
No, it's not. You better not be, Joe. That's all I can tell you. But anyways, guys, Joe will be back, I guess, on Monday. I don't know who's going to be here. Who knows? Somebody will. I'm sure it'll be Joe. Thanks for tuning in to the Mornings with Joe Catenacci. I'm your guest host, Ben Hawkins. God bless you guys. Have an amazing weekend. Happy Friday.
Keeping Charlotte informed. The Big Talker 106.7 FM WFBT, Carolina Beach.